Chiva Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Yes. We have made it to the final show of the week, at least for Sacktown Sports. Allen Stiles, 1140, taking you up to 2 p.m. A lot of you, this is the last day that you will have to be working. All right, have a nice long weekend filled with food, football, friends, family, the 4 F's that take up Thanksgiving. And we're going to take you there, 2 p.m. As always, shout out to our first responders, doctors, police officers, firefighters, everyone that doesn't get to enjoy these days off. But if you do, we hope that you get to enjoy it too. Taking you up to 2 p.m. as the Kings, they look to get us back in the right frame of mind. These last 2 days, these last 2 shows have been some of the most fun I've had on the show, but they've been tough, right? They have not been easy. But I'll tell you what, Sacramento, I don't want to go Jason Tatum here and say, we did it! But a couple nights ago, we spend all this time talking about one Jae Crowder. Somebody hopped in on actually, it was from the poll, and someone said, if you need to cut Dougie McBuckets, cut Dougie McBuckets. I said, hey, I'm going to feature this on our show. So we discussed that, bring in Jae Crowder. He can't be a negative at this point. You're on a 4-game losing streak. You're getting punked by multiple teams, good teams, bad teams, in between. Can we do something to get it done? Can we do something to bring the Kings over the hump? Now, I know I'm hearing everyone discuss how Jae Crowder isn't going to move the needle, but at least it shows that we are not okay with what is happening. Monty McNair saying, we are not okay. Or maybe Mr. Vivek is the one saying, we are not okay with what is happening. I don't care what you got to do. Obviously, this is not enough. And nobody is saying that this is enough by itself, but it is a start. And it is a version of understanding what the expectations are. You can't go out here and lose to the Nets. You can't lose to the Hawks even when you're down, dudes. And you can't get clowned against the Thunder. And you can't lose to the Clippers with no Kawhi Leonard and no Norman Powell. It can't happen. It can't happen. And it's not going to be acceptable. And the Kings are telling us it's not going to be acceptable. Obviously, we're just getting started. And as we are joined by the Sacktown Sports Insiders, Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunes, in an hour, I'm going to ask them, is it time to pull out the trade generator? Can I do that now? And is it allowed? Because I'm going to do it anyway. But I want their blessing to get this taken care of and to continue to see what the Kings can be. As always, we're going to open up the phone lines all show long, 916-339-1140. How you feeling about Jae Crowder, adding him to the squad? I've seen some people that are actually annoyed. Why didn't you make this deal at the beginning of the season? He worked out with you. You wanted to see what it looked like. You wanted to save a little bit of cash. What was the point of waiting when, again, you knew when you move off of Jalen McDaniels, he was basically some type of money swap and you don't even keep him on the roster. What is the point of waiting around when you knew you probably didn't have enough on the bench? Trey Lyles was coming back from injury and surprised all of us when he was able to play in that first game to kick off the season. He's dealt with injury. From that 3-4 position, that's all you got. You got Keegan Murray, trying to go gadget arms and be go gadget, do 18 different things. So his shooting is suffering. Then you have a couple injuries, and what do you know? And by the way, before you had the injuries, you're playing 35-year-old DeMar DeRozan over 35 minutes a game. We know he's been an Iron Man, but 35 is not the new 30. And 30 is not the new 25. And now what do you see? DeMar DeRozan missed 3 games last season. He's about to miss his 4th. So we'll do a deep dive into DeMar DeRozan and his injury history and why the Kings need to get these minutes under control. Another guy, Domantas Sabonis, another guy who hasn't really dealt with injury issues. He's missed time this season. De'Aaron Fox is banged up. Now Trey Lyles goes out. That's not necessarily a minutes thing, but you needed more guys that are serviceable on your bench. You know, the Kings looking like a bench where I know they have a big 3 in DeMar, De'Aaron Fox, and Sabonis, but you're looking like a real top-heavy big 3 like you're the Suns, having to scrape the bottom of the barrel for stuff. No disrespect, but that's what the bench has been. So Keon Ellis, we know what he brings to the table. Malik Monk, we know what he brings to the table. That's it. I can't really put Trey Lyles in that conversation. So you got 2 dudes off the bench. That's a 7-player rotation as far as what you can depend on. A 7-player dependable rotation. That's not realistic. I know you can swap Keon Ellis, put him in the starting lineup, put Kevin Hurt on the bench. That's just not enough. Not in the West, and maybe not even in the East. So that's a problem. What does Jae Crowder bring to the table? Obviously, it's not enough. But you got to be feeling better. Obviously, you're not feeling better because DeMar DeRozan's not playing tonight. And you're to the point now where you can't sit there and sell the game and sell the night simply because DeMar DeRozan's not playing. Again, you can't afford to do that. These games all count the same. So what do the Kings do? No clue what Jae Crowder's role will be tonight. I was talking to Kyle about it, and Kyle is going to join us a little bit later in the show. He's doing some things. We have Christopher Ladd with us right now, and Christopher Ladd is double dipping, doing a lot of different work for us. So we are obviously the holidays are coming. Everybody's powering through, but don't worry. We got you, and the phone lines are still open. We're taking you up to 2 p.m. So Kyle and I are talking before the show, and if you are Isaac Jones, if you are one of these other guys, you feeling some type of way if Jae Crowder gets more time than you? Should you? Is that what we want? We're tired of these nice guys. Should somebody have a chip on their shoulder? Man, I've been working my you-know-what off. And Jae Crowder comes off the couch, and he's going to get more time than me tonight? Iron sharpens iron, so let's see what happens next. Because we all know, and we don't know what happened in that team meeting. We're waiting to find out what happened and what is going to transpire tonight. We do not know. What we do know is this. You're on a 4-game losing streak. I wouldn't say the season is on the brink here, but a 5-game losing streak would be rough. And by the way, we're still fitting the same theme that we have so far with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, another tough loss last night. They go to overtime. And they lose. So now, once again, they will be looking for that palate cleanser against the Kings. The first time the Timberwolves played the Kings, the Timberwolves had lost to the Lakers in the season opener in front of everybody, national TV. The second time the Timberwolves had played the Kings, they were on a 3-game losing streak, and they had lost 2 in a row to the Portland Trailblazers. Now, again, and I promise you, I don't know why this keeps happening. Again, the Timberwolves have lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Raptors in Toronto. It seems like everybody can beat the Timberwolves besides the Kings. They lost to the Raptors in Toronto. They lost to the Celtics in Boston. And last night, they lose to the Rockets in overtime. So you're on a 3-game skid. You just lost in overtime. I don't want to say the Timberwolves season is in the balance, but they've been healthier for the most part than the Kings. So they're going to be looking to get right. Anthony Edwards is going to be very motivated. De'Aaron Fox dropped 60 on you. Yes, you got the W. De'Aaron Fox dropped 60 on you. So they're going to be very, very motivated all night long. They understand, and they get to play at home. They understand that they cannot drop this game. They cannot afford, the same way the Kings can't afford, to continue to drop games. And you know how the Timberwolves are looking at this? Okay, we get the Kings. They're on a 4-game skid. No DeMar DeRozan, no Trey Lyles. They're bringing in Jae Crowder. We got to get this W. We know it's on a back-to-back. They're on the road. We get to host them. We need this W. If you're looking like food right now if you're the Kings. So are you going to be the hunter or the hunted? That's the reality of the situation with the Sacramento Kings right now. And that's not disrespect from the Timberwolves. That's just the reality. They need this W. You're looking at a wounded team. No Trey Lyles. Out, 3 to 4 weeks with a calf injury. That's also not good. We'll have a breakdown a little bit later in the show. No Trey Lyles. No DeMar DeRozan. You're the Timberwolves. This is a must-win. This is more of a must-win for the Timberwolves than the Kings. So Sacramento, what are you going to do? De'Aaron Fox, we know what he did against the Timberwolves last time. You didn't get the W. So these are two teams that are struggling. These are two teams on the brink, and one team is going into the game much healthier than the other. But they both need it the same way. We got you 4 hours. We got Kings talk. We got Niners talk. We got some Thanksgiving talk later in the show. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports. We'll be right back.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Jae Crowder, obviously, that was the talk of the town yesterday, last night. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, up to 2 p.m. Jae Crowder, in his career, has played 803 games, averaged 9.3 points per game, shooting 41.9% from the field, 34.8% from three-point range, 77% from free throw. He's been in the league 12 years. Most recently, he played with the Milwaukee Bucks. That was just last season, and he played in 50 games. He started 25 games. No disrespect, that might say more about the Milwaukee Bucks and the struggles that they've had. Played 23, averaged 23 minutes a game, 5.4 attempts per game. He shot 42% from the field. He averaged 3.3 3-point attempts, shooting nearly 35% from three-point range. Free throws, he wasn't getting to the line too much, shot 72% from the line. Rebounds, 2.6 rebounds a game, 1.3 assists per game. Steals, 0.8 a game. Blocks, 0.2 a game. And yeah, he was sitting at, let's see here, 6.2 points per game. So, obviously not a guy who I don't know if it's a Shams bomb or whatever they're calling it now, but it's something. It's the depth that the Kings really, really needed. And I'll tell you what, I'll take 6.2 points off the bench right now from Jae Crowder. It's more than they're getting from anybody else. Everything I just read off, I will take that on the Kings right now. I'll take 35% from three-point range on 3.3 attempts. I will take that right now. Okay? Because you're getting zilch. You're getting zero from the bench. And unfortunately, where the Kings are at, there are only so many moves that can be made. Okay? And at this time, when you talk about the trade deadline, they got to see how much better they can get before they make some drastic moves. The other part of it is they're not going to want to make a move too quickly, all right? Because I think the prices, and I know prices aren't necessarily going to drop, but teams like the Nets, they have so many options. Maybe you're the one that gets the discount, if you will, from the Sack Chat. And shout out to the Sack Chat. Obviously, we have the text line, we have the call line, which has been on fire all week. If you are driving to pick up your turkey, driving to pick up your chicken, your ham, whatever it is, feel free to call in to the show, 916-339-1140. How are you feeling about the Jae Crowder move? Did it actually annoy you because it could have been made sooner? Does it move the needle at all? Are you annoyed because it doesn't move the needle? Are you waiting for the big trade? And are the Kings going to get back on the right side of things? This is from Jay. Again, I don't believe it's Jay Johnson. He's got more things to do. On the Sack Chat, where was this outrage about McNair weeks ago? Sack media seems worried about being critical of this man. Media in cities with expectation are open to criticizing GMs early for poor results. Yeah, sorry, Jay. I don't know if you were busy yesterday, but we spent about an hour on media breakdown, so I will not be revisiting that today. But you can feel free to check it out on the Sacktown Sports app. That was, I believe, in the 12 o'clock hour into the 1 o'clock hour, or you can check it out on YouTube. But I spent a lot of time on the media, defending the media, and we even opened up the phone lines and text lines and said, hey, hashtag hard media, and we can keep the conversation going. Hashtag hard media. Give me a question that you think is a question that a media member from Sacramento wouldn't ask, and use the hashtag hard media, and I will pick out the questions I like. And next time I am talking to Monty McNair, or next time I am talking to Mike Brown, I'll ask the question. I will ask the question. You know me. I'm not scared. All right. So, and Jay is hopping in now, just saying thanks. I'll check it out. And what should have happened in the offseason. I know. I'm with you. Jae Crowder should have been on this team going into the season. I continue to ask, why can't we get tape from these workouts? I want to know what went wrong there to where he wasn't good enough to be added, but DeMar DeRozan goes down. And really, that's the question, too. Is this only because Trey Lyles went down, or is this because the team's not playing good enough? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe that's a question that if I were in front of Monty McNair, hashtag hard media, if I were in front of Monty McNair, and, Mike Brown doesn't really have anything to do with stuff like this, that's what I would ask. I would ask, is this about the injuries to the wing position where the Kings are already thin, or is this about the wing position already being thin? Is Jae Crowder, are you looking at Jae Crowder getting time once DeMar DeRozan gets back and once Trey Lyles gets back? Because 3 to 4 weeks for Trey Lyles, that's a long time. So Jae Crowder is going to be very, I guess, whether it's Dougie McBuckets or Jae Crowder, whoever it is, they're going to be a huge part moving forward. And I would throw Isaac Jones in there as well. And as I say these names, again, this is no disrespect. This ain't great, man. This ain't great. And again, this puts more pressure, in my opinion, as January is going to be approaching before you know it. Y'all know I like to joke about things coming around the corner, and January is going to be here real quick. And Devin Carter, every time I log on to any type of Kings space, all the talk is once we get Devin Carter. And I'm a little bit worried for the kid as far as these expectations. It's not Devin Carter's fault that he was drafted. It's also not Devin Carter's fault that the Kings decided to go with him, who is a larger guard, but it's not his fault that the Kings are thin at the wing position, and we're going to be asking Devin Carter to do a lot. So these expectations, I think everybody needs to chill a little bit on the expectations, and hopefully let's be surprised. I think we're getting to the point now where the expectations are getting so high for Devin Carter, you're not going to be surprised. If anything, you're going to be let down. And I am reserving the opinion to be surprised. That's not to say I don't think he'll ball out, but I'm not going to go into it thinking, oh, well, once we get Devin Carter, he's going to fix all these issues. Dude hasn't played in the NBA before. He has not played in the NBA before. So how can we say that? How can he be our savior when he has never dribbled a basketball on the NBA floor? I can't do that. I don't think it's fair to him, and I don't think it's fair to the fans. 916-339-1140. Let's go to TC, who wants to kick things off. TC, first caller of the day. What you got?
Hey, let's pop it. Hey, man, you know what? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. Allen, man, y'all be safe, bro.
Thank you, man. Same to you. So real quick, TC, what you cook it? You cook it all on Thanksgiving, or the family cooks for you? What you got?
Nah. So listen. So we doing it a little different. You know how it's traditional with the turkey. We still having that, but we doing like a potluck this year at my sister's house.
Okay.
So I'm bringing some racks. I'm bringing some ribs. I ain't never heard ribs on Thanksgiving.
No, I like it. I got my tri-tip going on Thanksgiving. You get in where you fit in, TC.
Yeah, so I'm stoked about that, bro. So make a little cocktail. I guess they're gonna be having like a little drinking contest. We ain't gonna get too much into it, but we're gonna have some fun, Allen.
Man, that sounds good. All right, what you got? We got these Kings gonna get us in a good mood tonight, or what?
Yes, they gonna win tonight, y'all. Listen, man, kick back. We needed Jae Crowder. This is who we've been talking about. I'm ready to go get Robert Covington too, because we need the wing help. Both of those dudes are dogs. We know what Jae Crowder gonna bring. We not asking Jae Crowder, come play 40 minutes and average 20 and 10. No, bro. Play your 10 minutes and come in and grit and grind. We need his toughness. Jae Crowder was the person that we was missing. The reason why he wasn't signed in the beginning, because Mike and everybody want to see, let's give Trey Lyles time. Let's give Kevin Huerter some time. Let's see what's up with the team, because we already know who Jae Crowder is.
Right.
We already know when we bring him in, we're going to bring him in for a reason. So let's not use our reason now. Let's find out what the guys are made of. Once we've seen what this team is made of and these injuries, we're like, let's go get Jae Crowder, bro. Jae Crowder is going to turn our season around. I'm going to say it right now. Book it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, TC. Hopefully we get a Thanksgiving Eve beam. Look, I know TC can be very optimistic, and I again, the same thing I said about Devin Carter, I will say the same thing about Jae Crowder. I don't know that he can fully turn the season around, but I do think he brings an element that a lot of Kings fans have been clamoring for time and time again when it comes to a dog, number one, and that's just his mentality, and number two, who's not going to take no mess, and number two, just from that wing position. This is a wing-driven league right now, and the Kings continued to try to zig where everybody else was zagging. You got wings out the woodwork on the Pelicans. They can't find enough wings. And same on the Timberwolves as well. You got Jaden Daniels and Nikhil Alexander-Walker, who we're going to see tonight. So to not have those guys or those types of players, you didn't even give Jalen McDaniels a try. I mean, that I want to see that tape, because that must have just been awful. So you have to find a way to at least hang around. I don't know if Jae Crowder is going to turn everything around, but it's better than what you got now, who Mike Brown has essentially deemed unplayable. So that's just what it is. All right, we will go through Jae Crowder's wild NBA journey and get to the reevaluations of Trey Lyles and DeMar DeRozan on the other side. More of your calls, more of your texts, more of your Sack Chat. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I'm Coach Doug Christie, urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia for massive Black Friday discounts on your next new or certified pre-owned Kia. Now through Monday, hurry to Folsom Lake Kia. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho, 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 ho.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
With NBA League Pass, you can keep up with the whole league.
Wait, is this for real?
For real.
So I can choose from so many live games?
Yeah, up to 4 with multi-view.
And watch my favorite players dunk?
From every angle, home or away.
Wow, unbelievable.
Believe it, kid. With NBA League Pass, it's all possible. NBA League Pass, your home for streaming hoops.
Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Toyota's Black Friday sales event ends soon. Maximize your fuel efficiency and experience legendary Toyota dependability with the widest selection of hybrids to choose from.
Ready, set, let's go.
Shop 16 hybrid models, cars, trucks, and SUVs from the most reliable brand on the road.
Ready, set, let's go.
The clock is ticking on Toyota's Black Friday sales event. Hurry in. Don't miss out. Toyota. Let's go places.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Sacramento's official home of the San Francisco 49ers.
Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. as we break down all things Jae Crowder, our first entry we're going to read off here on the text line. By the way, joined by Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez in 30 minutes. Oh, they know what's coming. The trade generator. So here's the thing. If you're just now tuning in, so Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez, our Sacktown Sports insiders for the Kings and more, they hate it when I bust out the trade generator. All right. They always think it's too early. To be fair, maybe last week was a little early, but I didn't do it. But now, 4-game losing streak, they're not going to have a choice. So this is what I want you to do. As a couple days ago, somebody shipped off De'Aaron Fox to Washington, and we don't even know who the Kings were getting back. I think that was the best part of that call. Let's have some fun as they're going to join us at 11. If you are a trade generator person, I want you to whip up some trades. We're going to read them off to Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez, and they're going to be acting like Gordon Ramsay, critiquing the trades. I think Frankie's probably too nice to actually be mean about it, but Brendan Nunez might be. So fire up that trade generator. You got 30 minutes as Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez joins us. Or maybe you don't think the Kings need to do anything quite yet. Let's see how things look with one Jae Crowder. Let's get to what Esteban wants to say on the text line. He says, my biggest gripe with Monty is his stance that this front office is aggressive. Allen, can you say this front office is aggressive at making this team better? That's from Esteban. I feel like Monty always says, yeah, he kind of contradicts himself a little bit where he'll say, we're going to be aggressive, but we don't want to make a rash decision and we want to be patient. So being patient and aggressive at the same time, that's a little tough to do. And, you know, it's basically we're patiently being aggressive. We're going to be patient until we're aggressive. Okay, well, I guess that's not something that's impossible, but at the same time, that doesn't really, it just sounds like we want to be smart with our aggressiveness. And you would take a Mavericks team who, let's go that route. We've talked ad nauseum about the Mavericks who bring in PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, and where does that lead them to? A finals run. Now the Mavericks, they did get to the finals, but after that, they had to give up some things to make it work. The Mavericks are sitting at 10-8, right? It's still early in the season. Everybody's about 18 games in, and you know, they've made some decisions that will affect their future. What happens if the Mavs go on to be a 6 seed, or they find themselves in the play-in? They go out, they get Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson going into the week, Russell Westbrook actually had a better 3-point percentage than Klay Thompson. What happens if it doesn't work out for the Mavs and all they have to show for it is that finals run? So that's the other part of being aggressive. Now, look, you could also say, Allen, I'll take a finals run. At least you got a shot. The Mavericks came up against a buzzsaw and one of the best teams we've seen in recent memory with the Celtics, but they gave themselves a chance. I'm whatever years old. I've never seen the Kings get to the finals. I'll take it. You got an opportunity. I'll take that right now. And the Mavericks are still viewed as a top team in the West. I think the Mavericks are viewed as a higher team in the West than the Kings. So maybe that's your stance on it. And if that is your stance on it, I feel you. You know, I don't think that's ridiculous. I understand where you're coming from, but Monty doesn't want to put himself and put the team in a bad spot. I think the issue now is, okay, well, it's essentially not working, whether it be injury and even before injury, we were trying to give it time. We're to a place now where you're not even 20 games into the season. You haven't played well and you haven't been healthy. So I guess if you're the front office, you can say, well, we don't actually know what this team looks like when healthy. But a lot of fans are sitting there saying, we kind of know what it looks like, and it didn't look great even when you were healthy. So as far as Monty being aggressive, maybe in his mind, he feels like he's being aggressive. You ever see a video of yourself doing something athletic, and when you were doing it, you thought you looked way more athletic? There's a video of you racing your little cousin or your little nephew, and when you were running, you're thinking, oh, I'm cooking. Or a video of you hooping, oh, I'm balling. Then you watch the video and you think, oh, that's not the most athletic thing I've ever seen. That's kind of what I feel like with the front office. In their mind, they might be being aggressive. Bring in DeMar DeRozan, that's being aggressive. Moving on from Harrison Barnes, that's being aggressive. But if you watch a video on it, someone might say, look, you had a good run with the Kings 2 years ago. Why did you go through that whole season last season and not make a move? Why did you have to prove that this team either could or couldn't do it? Why did they earn that? Because you're the Kings and there was a over decade-long drought? Why did they earn that? You knew it wasn't working before the trade deadline. You knew this team wasn't going to turn a corner. You knew this team couldn't compete with the Thunders of the world. You knew this team couldn't compete with the Nuggets of the world and the Mavs once they made their move. Why did we have to sit here and waste a season? So making a move last season, to me, would be hyper aggressive. Now, that would be aggressive. But the argument is, okay, all we did was give an extra season to a team who gave the city more success or a deeper run than they've seen in a very, very long time. So they've earned it. All we did was give them a year. We didn't even give them 2 years. So in that regard, they feel like they were being aggressive. It all depends on how you look at it. I think they could be more aggressive, but that doesn't mean every swing is going to be a home run. The difference is you have to take swings and then understand what's working, what's not. The Mavericks, they took a swing. Grant Williams didn't work out. Get out of here. We're going to move off of you. Other teams make moves, and if it's not working, fine. We're moving on. I think that there are, especially with Sacramento being Sacramento, there are conversations to be had where it's, well, if we get somebody, and that's part of and how can we sit here and say the Tyrese Halliburton move wasn't aggressive? You might not have liked it, but to be fair, I don't think somebody might say it's too aggressive. So I understand, and I know that was a couple years ago now, I understand the idea that the Kings could be more aggressive. Everybody could be more aggressive. But I do think that there have been opportunities and there have been situations where Monty McNair has been aggressive. And fans are always going to want their team to be more aggressive until it doesn't work out. And then you say, hey, why did you do that? If let's say this DeMar DeRozan thing, let's say it doesn't work out as much as we would have liked. Okay. And let's say Harrison Barnes, you moved off of Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter at the trade deadline. So at last season, what would everybody have been saying? Everybody would be saying, why would you move off of Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter coming off the Beam Team season? Why would you do that? So I have always given, for lack of a better term, a pass to the front office for rocking with the same crew last season. And then going into this season, you go out, you get DeMar DeRozan. Was that number one on everyone's list? I don't know, but we know he's a bucket. So I think there was a level of aggressiveness last season or going into this season. Was it enough? That's everybody's opinion to have. But, you can't sit there and look at, now you did have way too many guards. Maybe that's why you had to move off of Tyrese Halliburton. But you can't look at what Monty McNair has done and say that he hasn't been aggressive. Maybe he could be more aggressive, but I wouldn't say that he hasn't been aggressive. It's really been about that last season, and if it didn't work out, whatever move they make last season, everybody is saying, why in the world would you move off of the Beam Team season after last season they were a 3 seed? So darned if you do, darned if you don't. Let's get to the injuries and what's going on. Trey Lyles and DeMar DeRozan when we return, and we open back up the phone lines. 916-339-1140. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
Got a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Finally here. Wendy's new salted caramel frosty. It's cold, salted, yet perfectly sweet, delicious, and it's at the top of Santa's Christmas list.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
No.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com. Time to gear up. It's the Black Friday and Gold Saturday open house event at Roseville Power Sports. Located at 360 North Sunrise Avenue. We're your home for the best deals on Can-Am side-by-sides, ATVs, and Ski-Doo snowmobiles. Now's the time to save thousands on a brand new Can-Am or Ski-Doo. And check out the all-new Can-Am Maverick R with an incredible 240 horsepower. A Maverick R is built to conquer any terrain, bringing unmatched power and excitement to your off-road adventures. Plus, save 30 to 50% on accessories, helmets, jackets, gear, everything you need to ride in style and safety. This Black Friday and Saturday only. And it's not just about the savings. It's an open house event you won't want to miss. Join us for food, prizes, and more this Black Friday. So head to Roseville Power Sports this Black Friday and Gold Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And let's kick off the holiday season with incredible deals and tons of fun. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Offers valid on 2024 and prior products while supplies last. Happy holidays from Roseville Power Sports.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube. What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days now that Black Friday is here?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
Well, that's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. promotion. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
Sacktown Sports. Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Tyus Jones was a name that I wanted. Too many guards. I don't know where Tyus Jones would have fit on this team, right? Did they move off of Davion Mitchell? Maybe you could have added him, but you got Keon Ellis. You got the Joneses and Kobe Jones getting some time. You got Malik Monk. Devin Carter's coming back. I don't know where Tyus Jones would have fit. You know, people bringing up that the Suns were aggressive. Family Schlegel bringing that up. I get it. All right, as we continue to break down all things Kings. By the way, just got word, like I said, Chris Verlaud, best in the biz. Sean Cunningham will join us at 12:30 of Fox 40. Sean was one of the first guys to break the Jae Crowder news. We will talk to Sean about the Jae Crowder addition, what he thinks that will do for the Kings, where the Kings' state of mind is, if he has any information on that meeting that they had yesterday, and his thoughts on Monty McNair, whether Monty McNair has been aggressive or not. But let's talk about the two guys that are on the court or currently on the court for the Kings and won't be for a couple days, at least not tonight. Trey Lyles out with that calf injury. Again, this is not great. This is not, calves scare me. They scare me a lot. So Trey Lyles has a grade 1 calf sprain and will be out 3 to 4 weeks. This injury makes the Jae Crowder signing, it makes a lot more sense, as Lyles was one of Sacramento's only bench forwards. Look, man, I know we sit here and we talk a lot, and I try to still speak and talk about these players as humans. And it can be tough sometimes because we are here to discuss who they are as players and the team. That's what we're here to do. At the same time, as we talked to Trey Lyles during media day, and he was dealing with, I think it was a groin injury at that time. We know what happened last season. As far as the person, I do feel really bad for Trey Lyles and really his inability right now to stay on the court, find a rhythm. He's 29 years old now, looking 30 in the face, and he's on an expiring contract. So this is a tough situation for Trey Lyles, not just for the Sacramento Kings and as far as they're concerned, but just Trey Lyles as far as his career. These wing players, they ain't built like they used to. They can dribble, they can handle the basketball, they can shoot, they can jump out the gym, and Trey Lyles is probably going to be in a tough spot at the end of the season. That's it. That's the reality. The time that he has played hasn't been terribly impressive. And then you start thinking about, well, he hasn't been able to kind of get his footing and get on the court. When Domantas Sabonis was out, he gave the Kings some good time. Domantas Sabonis gets reinserted and Trey Lyles kind of disappears again. Then he gets injured. So look, we can talk about this from the Kings standpoint and how tough it is for the Kings, who are already thin at that position. They bring in Jae Crowder. It's also tough for just Trey Lyles as a professional athlete. So it's just rough, and we wish him the best, and he's going to be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. I don't mean he's coming back in 3 to 4 weeks. Reevaluated. That's a month. So a lot can happen in a month, and you know how Coach Mike Brown is. Let's say Jae Crowder, and the text line is saying, I'm excited to get Jae Crowder if he's the Jae Crowder from 2020, but is he? No clue, 916. But if he's close to it and the Kings turn this thing around, Mike Brown going to be looking up and down and say, Trey, I know the Trey Lyles movement and legend of winning or legend of losing is going to be upset about that. But Trey, I don't know where I'm going to play you, brother. I don't. And to be honest, I don't think Mike Brown is hoping that's the case, but he is hoping that they start winning within these next 3 to 4 weeks. So you're not going to be on the court. We need wins. And it hasn't been working. Them's just the breaks, but that doesn't mean we can't feel for him. You know, a lot of people like Trey Lyles. He was huge when it comes to the Beam Team season. So we're wishing him the best, but at the same time, the Kings need to start winning basketball games. And that means they're going to have to win basketball games without Trey Lyles. So that means when he comes back, and if they don't win basketball games, now we're just in a whole world of trouble. But then Trey Lyles can say, hey, I can bring something that you guys are missing. But if they start winning games, Trey Lyles not playing, Mike Brown's going to say, you know how he gets. I don't know where to find time for you, brother. I don't. So that's what Trey Lyles is dealing with. DeMar DeRozan suffered lower back inflammation, and he was dealing with it prior to coming back these last couple games. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think he looked right. I know he balled out against the Thunder. He dropped 30, but he didn't look right to me in the game prior to that against the Nets, and he looked better against the Thunder. But honestly, it kind of felt like the Thunder were living with the mid-ranges because they were hitting threes. And I'm not saying they weren't guarding DeMar DeRozan. What I'm saying is, hey, if you guys want to midi-committee us to death, that's fine. At some point, you're going to have to hit some threes. And the Kings just said, no, we don't. We don't have to do anything. We're going to continue to shoot these mid-ranges and miss threes, and we're going to lose this game. So as far as DeMar DeRozan is concerned, this is tough. It's a tough blow for the Kings. And as they're still trying to figure out who they are and their identity with De'Aaron Fox and with DeMar DeRozan, now you have to do that without him on the floor. So you're, again, playing a game that is, you got to get the W, but this isn't what you would hope for when the playoffs come around. You're missing time as far as who the Kings want to be when the season ends. You're not building to that. You got to get these W's one way or the other, but you're not building to that. You're not building that cohesion between guys. You're not building that chemistry between guys. So that's the tough part of this. They can win tonight, but you got to get these dudes on the floor. And look, injuries, they stink. They're the worst part about sports, and you can't do anything about them. Doesn't mean that it's not a tough go. Doesn't mean that it doesn't affect your ability to be the team that you eventually want to be. By the way, Chris Biederman is reporting, this was an hour ago, Jae Crowder is here with the Kings in Minnesota watching shoot-around. Watching shoot-around. Not sure what that means, but as far as the watching part, but yeah, watching shoot-around. Getting back to the injuries, DeMar DeRozan will miss tonight's game in Minnesota with lower back muscle inflammation and is day to day. I had a couple notes here on DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan only missed 3 games all of last season. He is now about to miss his 4th. He's 35 years old. The most games he ever missed was 22, and that's when he was 25 years old. He missed in 2021, he missed 21 games. That's when he was 31 years old. But typically, he does not miss a ton of games. And hopefully, he can get right. I think one thing that's for sure is you're not going to be able to play this guy as much as you've been playing him. It stinks because I would never say, he's got a Hall of Fame career, but a lot of those minutes out there in Chicago, that's tough because they didn't really do too much. I think they got into a playoff round. That was when his daughter was screaming, or maybe they won the first play-in game and then lost the second. But you look at the minutes that he's played throughout his career, the average is 34 minutes, 34.7 throughout his career. And he's 34 years old last season on the Bulls, and he played 37.8 minutes a game. That was the most minutes a game he's played in his whole career at 34 years old. So we hope that's not going to affect him moving forward. But at 34 years old, he was playing 37.8 minutes per game. Not great. And this season at 35, he was averaging 36.3 minutes per game. He had a stint where he was in Toronto and in San Antonio where he was playing 35, 35, 35, 33, 34, 34, 33. And starting in 2022 in Chicago, once he gets to Chicago, 36 minutes a game at 32 years old, 36 minutes a game at 33 years old. Last season, 37.8 minutes a game at 34 years old. And now 36.3 minutes a game at 35 years old. That's not going to work. That's not good enough. Or excuse me, that's too much. You have to find a way to get this guy some rest. He's already down. We're not even 20 games into the season. That's a problem. Well, let's see if we have a problem or a solution when Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez joins us on the other side. Trade generator time. The State of the Kings Roundtable coming up next. Doesn't mean your calls and your texts stop. 916-339-1140. Get your texts in for Frankie and Brendan and your calls. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
There are Black Friday deals, and then there are Kohl's Black Friday deals. Where else can you get 40% off Levi's, up to 50% off Sephora fragrances, and home favorites for under $10 all in the same place? And it gets better. You can score extra Kohl's cash with $15 earned for every $50 spent. Get 15% off some of your finds, and save even more with limited time doorbusters, like 50% off toys. Select styles. Offers end November 29th. Coupons do not apply to Levi's and toys. Coupons and Kohl's cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Black Friday has officially landed at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento. The best deals of the year on power tools are happening now from November 25th through December 2nd. Get low-price Makita Bear tools starting at just $89, Makita batteries starting at only $49, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to grab the hottest power tool deals of the year. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit us in person at 6701 Power Inn Road or shop online anytime at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Superer Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, Kings Roundtable. We are joined by Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunez. How you doing, guys?
Happy day before Thanksgiving. You look like you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
You're ready for dinner.
I'm ready to go. I forgot my lunch because I told everyone, I got Chinese last night because, you eat out before Thanksgiving. This is the day before, but I'll be running to the East Bay. But I forgot my lunch.
Very lunch. What was it for lunch?
General Tso's, orange chicken, little garlic noodles, and shrimp fried rice. I'm going to have to scarf it after I get back. And Frankie, you got to move over here.
Yes, I will.
Frankie's got a handsome back of the head.
That's right.
We would like to see the front of the face.
Yeah,
that's right. As Frankie is, rocking his Yankees. I haven't even mentioned the Blake Snell thing because I just don't want to deal with it. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end, guys, because that's not why the YouTube is popping. That's not why the phones are ringing off the hook. That's not why the text line is filling up. They don't want to hear about my Chinese food. They don't want to hear about Blake Snellzilla going to the evil empire. They want to hear about the Kings and whether or not, just like my Chinese food last night, they're cooked. Are they done?
It's way too early for that.
I'm just saying.
Things change so fast in the NBA.
That's the first question is, are the Kings cooked?
Yeah, that is the first question.
Straight to it.
Sorry, go ahead, but you give your thoughts first.
Well, okay, so the biggest thing right now is that they can't hit their threes. And there's a lot of trickle-down effect, I think, that's taken place because of that. But Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter are shooting 28 and 29% from three, and I don't know how you can live like that. The Kings last year had 20 games where they shot 30% or worse from three. They went 13 and 7. Like last year, this team was also very dependent on making their threes. They were just good at it. And they still have those same guys. I think they still should be good at it. It's a little bit of a different process of how they're getting there. I don't think there's the same ball movement and player movement necessarily.
Why?
Partially because DeMar DeRozan is there.
Because nobody wants to say that.
Yeah.
I feel like people are afraid to say that.
It's partially because DeMar DeRozan is there, but I think that DeMar makes the right play more often than not kicking out to shooters. And I think that as those guys start to make less shots, they lose trust in that. And then all of a sudden you're living with, all right, De'Aaron and DeMar just try to go get a bucket.
Yeah.
And we're going to live with the results, really. So I don't think that it's like DeMar not willing to be playing that way. The fact that he takes 38.9% of his 22 points per game come from the mid-range. The second place guy is Bobby Portis with 23%. So
that's another guy.
That's part of where he's going to get his buckets, but
Yeah.
he'll kick out to the shooters still. I just think that he, De'Aaron, everybody might be losing a little bit of confidence with them not going down. Domas even said after last game, like, if we can't hit threes, like this might be who we are this year.
And isn't it a situation where when you're going good, and Frankie, you know, I mean, it's the same in baseball. When you're going good, the ball looks like a beach ball when you're at the plate. And when you're going bad, it looks like a golf ball or a pebble. You got to think, guys, I think what I'm worried about is I talk a lot about the kind of mental aspect of the game. You got to think it's in these dudes' heads when they take a three. And Keegan is still making some. They're all making a couple, but you got to think they're going Eminem, B Rabbit, palms a little sweaty. And when they're wide open and they know I have to hit, it's just not free flowing, natural. Just hit the shot. Now it's a thing now. How do they overcome it being a thing now?
Well, look, they're professionals. I mean, but they're also human. There are going to be times where you go through shooting slumps. But, I mean, all these guys have been through a slump before, whether it's in Parks and Rec, high school, college, whatever. And we've seen Kevin Huerter, the trials and tribulations he's had. He's been a very streaky shooter during his time in Sacramento. And he really, it's almost like, I think his splits almost alternate month by month. Keegan Murray, I brought it up before. November is the worst shooting month of his career. I think it's 9% lower than every other month on average. He
hates Thanksgiving.
We're almost out of there.
December is his best. I'm pretty sure he's like near 50% from three in December. So, I mean, will that help? Who knows? I don't know. But I think the matter of the fact is the guys are going to have to keep shooting. The only way you can get through a slump is to shoot through it. And I don't think it's going to be a matter of guys hesitating. And yeah, you see it at times, but it's not constant where guys are hesitating or having second thoughts about a shot. But I do think this team, and I know I'll keep saying it, I guess, until I can't, but they have the shooters to be a successful three-point shooting team. This is the same team that's been top 10 and made three-point field goals the past 2 seasons. This is the same exact team from that standpoint of you have Kevin Huerter, you have Keegan Murray, you have De'Aaron Fox, who's been shooting at a much better level from three, especially for season 2. Sabonis has even been taking a little more threes, and he's knocking them down at a good clip. There really isn't an excuse for the three-point defense, but that's another problem, that the three-point line just on both sides has been an issue. And that one on the defensive side is more of a personnel thing, but I do think from the offensive standpoint, they have the offensive weapons to be successful there.
The Kevin Huerter conversation continues to come up, and Kevin Huerter did not start a couple nights ago, and they still didn't get the W. He only played 10 minutes. Somehow people still found a way to blame him. I'm torn, guys, because I know he's not getting paid peanuts here. He's got a pretty decent contract. I'm a bit torn on how much weight should be put on one person, one player in Kevin Huerter versus the fact that, yeah, I mean, if you have a thin rotation and one of your guys just isn't producing, that's a problem. I mean, at least with the Keegan Murray thing, his shot's not falling. He's getting 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds. He's getting to the cup. He went to the line 8 times last game. He's guarding the other team's best player. What do you make of the Kevin Huerter hate, if you will? Is it overblown? Is it more about it's kind of similar to Trey Lyles to me. Is it more about the roster construction, or if it's, hey, you're making $16 million a year, you have to bring more to the table? But at the other side, well, nobody made them pay Kevin Huerter that money.
Yeah, they traded a first-round pick for him to go and get him. I think it's a combination of both, because you do rely on him, and that's the nature of how this roster is constructed. And also, you just look back to that year they traded for him, that original Beam Team season. He was so good. He was a big part of what made their offense successful, that half-court pace, the running through dribble handoffs, and just doing all of that. He's hitting big shots. You think of that shot against Utah. He's had 2 moments already this year. I want to say Atlanta and Brooklyn were the back-to-back games where he had huge threes wide open late in the game. Wasn't able to knock down either one of them. And the issue is what you said, that Keegan does a lot of other things. He's a career high in rebounding, to getting to the line. He's guarding everyone from Trae Young to KD to LeBron to Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, everybody out there. So I think that's more excusable. Kevin needs to be doing a little bit more, and that's just not exactly his skill set. So I think it's tough when you see a guy that can help the team, and he just hasn't been. And I think part of the balance is, shooting is such a confidence thing for certain players, and I do think that Kevin is one of those. And that's where it's like, all right, pulling him out of the lineup, giving him 10 minutes, like, how does that affect a guy?
I'm not doing that, Brendan.
I think
we did that all season last year.
No, I get it.
He got coddled all season last year.
For sure. And
he never heated up.
It's the balance,
Wait,
right?
Kevin?
Yes.
They benched him multiple times.
He probably should have got benched more.
He got benched already this year.
I would say that like the Duarte thing, that lingered throughout the season, starting Duarte over him. But that's the dilemma for Mike Brown, because to your point, like, yes, Keon has been better. Keon's knocking down his threes. He played good defense against SGA at the beginning of that game. He provides something for you defensively. You can get steals, get out in transition. But you have to consider the personalities that you're dealing with here as well, and just how this could affect guys mentally, because you still need the best version of every player. It's a tough spot.
I'm not. I hear
you think the Kings coddled Kevin Huerter last year?
Yes.
After benching him multiple times for different players.
How many games did he start, Frankie?
A lot.
Okay.
But the point is, this isn't like
the fans made it happen. And the media, because every day, honestly, what it was Mike Brown. He had to move off of somebody, right? Because he refused to sit Harrison Barnes. So he knew
Western Conference Player of the
Western
Week.
Conference Player of the Week.
Oh, okay, well, bring him back then, since he's an all-star. He refused to sit Harrison Barnes. I'm looking here, guys. Frankie, come on now. Look at this. He started 50. He played 64 games, Frankie. He started 59. So he sat 5. He was benched 5 times.
But a lot of those instances, like, it really was a matter of, okay, Kevin Huerter is being exposed on defense. We talk about it time and time again, Brendan, how teams were seeking him on switches.
And that's what they did a couple nights ago with Shea.
That's why they started Keon.
That's why they're starting Keon, exactly. And I think that's a matter of, okay, let's try someone new. But Chris Duarte, when he brought, or I guess Keon Ellis at the beginning, Kevin Huerter is a much more offensively gifted player than both of those guys.
I don't know about much. Not for Keon.
I said it at the time.
He's supposed to be.
That's fair.
Keon has shown flashes. He's a much better shooter than a lot of people thought he was going to be.
Your boy, Giancarlo Stanton, right?
Let's not bring him.
No. I'm just saying, if you are supposed to be and he had a great postseason, but in years past, you're supposed to be a home run hitter, but you don't hit home runs. Are you still a home run hitter?
Well, he hits home runs. He's just not healthy. That's a different question.
I'm just saying.
This is such a different question. Look, Kevin Huerter, the inability to be consistent shooting the basketball is a problem for sure. Because if you can't defend, you have to be able to contribute something. Yeah. Kind of like what Buddy Hield went through when he was here. Buddy Hield was a horrific defender, but he was a 40+% 3-point shooter and he hit the boards.
Yeah.
What are you providing to his offense or defense if you're not able to be a plus on offense or defense? You have to bring something to the table. And I agree. Right now, Kevin Huerter is trying to find that aspect of his game. Like, what are you bringing to contribute to these games? If you're not going to be a sharp shooting threat or someone that opposing defenses have to pay attention to, like the first year here, then there's going to be changes. And as we saw, Mike Brown is prioritizing Keon Ellis's defense, his versatility, and he's shooting 43% from 3. So he's earned that spot and earned that right to be in that lineup.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to do the whole sympathize with Kevin thing here, I guess.
And I'm not trying to bag on him either.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think it's reasonable. I'll just say that, he knew most of last year that he was in trade conversations, and that's after being like a hero coming to Sacramento. They draft Devin Carter. That's kind of your replacement sitting right there, and they're waiting for him to come back from injury. I'm just saying I could absolutely see him viewing it that way. That's not a comfortable position to be in. No, he has to be be
You got to be able to work with that, Brendan. There's always going to be someone.
I agree.
Keon got his opportunity because Davion Mitchell, they shopped him to the 6.
For sure.
So that's just what it is.
I agree.
Brendan, come on now.
I'm not trying to say
Brendan,
that's a valid excuse. I just want to say that is part of the reality.
No, and the reality is they need 2 guys, man. It's Trey Lyles and Kevin Huerter. They just need more from, based on how you can't have a thin roster and then not get anything from your thin rotation. That's just what it is. But like I said, I think people are too hard on Kevin. I'm not hard on Kevin. No, really? I'm not hard on Kevin. I'm just saying.
I think it's a reasonable time to question it.
I'm just saying at some point, you got to turn this thing around. All right, we're going to turn it around and be back in just a few minutes here. Let's talk a real dog, Jae Crowder. Ooh. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Huerter is Sacktown Sports.
Huerter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Huerter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli, Allen Stiles here. It's getting a little warm in here, isn't it? It's getting a little warm in here, isn't it?
A little spicy.
209. Kevin was treated like garbage last year. That's one of the reasons he lost his confidence. Stop it, 209. Stop it. Really? Garbage? Give me a break.
It's a results-based.
Give me a break.
It's a results-based business.
That is insane.
It's a results-based business, and people are going to be hard on you when things are.
I mean, what more do you want, 209? What do you want? Enough. All right, guys. Let's get to Jae Crowder. It's never enough of Jae Crowder.
And 209 was just about to spiral us again right there.
No, I won't allow it. I won't allow it. All right. I already found a way to throw Giancarlo Stanton under the bus.
Yeah, leave him alone.
I will.
He's a hero right now.
He is a hero right now. But Aaron Judge, learn how to hit a curve.
We're moving on.
All right. Jae Crowder is signed, guys. And the first thing everybody is asking is, why did Monty McNair wait? They worked him out. And the main question I had, so we've been doing, I don't know if you have heard, but we've been doing, everyone's been coming at the media. You need to be harder on Monty McNair. So I've been using the hashtag hard media to ask questions. Ask questions about what decisions have been made. No hashtag soft media here, hard media. So as we talk about Jae Crowder, I think the question to Monty McNair would be, is this move being made because the team isn't producing, or is it being made because of the injuries?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think that the injuries literally made it that they have to address the roster. They have to add forward depth. No Trey Lyles, no DeMar DeRozan. We don't know how long that's going to be. I'd imagine he's day-to-day. They didn't really provide an update on his timeline. I think it's probably day-to-day. But Trey Lyles out for a month, probably minimum.
Yeah.
We're talking about Doug McDermott, I think, and Isaac Jones as your backup forwards right now. And I kind of put on Twitter, I think Isaac Jones, just a guess, a hunch, totally not, I don't know, but he might be the Kings starting four for
I saw that.
The time being.
Yeah.
Who knows? The way that Mike Brown operates, and they're playing Julius Randle tonight. But I think Jae Crowder is someone who has been around the NBA for a very long time, been playing since, I think, 2012. Like, he's been around the block. He's been to a lot of contending teams, played in some big games. Definitely has versatility. Like you say, he's a dog. Like, he's not afraid to get in the face of an opponent's team.
We need that.
He's a fiery guy, but he's not going to come in, I don't think, and blow the doors off of this team and turn it around and be, I think, the rallying cry that the team needed. I think it's more of a matter of he fits the bill as a position. He fits the bill for his build. The Kings need bodies. And I think Mark Stein put out a list of top forward free agents. Crazy enough, the forward pool is very thin right now. He was listed as the top forward free agent. He was listed as number one. So the Kings got the top forward free agent.
Might have got both with Doug McDermott.
Yeah. The top two.
Where was I saw somebody bring up this name too, Robert Covington. Was he on that list?
I think he was like on it, top five. I think he was 3 or 4.
Because it made me think, okay, who would I rather have, Robert Covington or Jae Crowder? I think Jae Crowder. I'm pretty sure Jae Crowder.
Yeah, I think he has his track record. I think in Milwaukee he was playing I think he was starting for them down the final stretch. That was a disaster of a Bucks finish last year. But
he started 25 games. He played 1,100 minutes.
Yeah, put 23, averaged 23 minutes a game, shot nearly 35% from three-point land on 3.3 attempts per game. I'm assuming most of those are in the corner, which I'm okay with.
He will shoot.
Yeah, he will shoot. He's not afraid, and he's hungry, man. He's been looking to play. He was stuck in Phoenix. He wanted a bigger role. He gets to Milwaukee. It just doesn't work out. So I think this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Look, I don't think he's going to be the reason the Kings are having a parade down Doko or not, but you needed to do something, guys, because I was reading, it was actually worse than I thought. I was reading the minutes played for DeMar DeRozan throughout his career, and last season he played the most minutes as a 34-year-old.
Yeah.
Played 37.8 minutes a game, and this season he was on pace to, besides a season in 2013 when he's 23 years old, he was actually on pace to average the third most minutes per game in his career at 35 years old. That can't happen. That cannot happen.
Even though it just did.
Now he's injured.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree. I think I will say his track history, like you kind of just laid out, says typically that's an okay way to play him, but you would like to be able to tone that down. And it is just the lack of depth that we're talking about. Sometimes he's out there playing the 4.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, to your point, like, who else are you going to roll out there? And at the same time, though, he prides himself on being available. He prides himself on being out there. He wants to play. And to this point, he's been, there hasn't been a kind of injury plague situation with him or concern. And a low back tightness / soreness situation. We all are human beings. We have back pain time to time. We know how that can go. That can be a long-standing issue. There's not really a quick fix for backs. I think people say that all the time with sports. There's not a quick fix for a back issue.
Tiger Bomb.
Not a quick fix.
I see hot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It doesn't work for me. But I think seeing him come in, and we talked about that night, the Kings posted those pregame pictures of the players and the pregame fits, and DeRozan had a back brace or one of those back wraps on.
That's not good.
And it was kind of I think Chris Watkins, I was talking like, that can't be good. Yep. And sure enough, that dropped 30 that night, but
he had it in warmups against OKC too.
Yeah. It might be a case of, he might need a little bit of downtime again. I think he had about a week off last time, and he played at a decent level. Didn't really get going. Funny enough, till last game was the best he'd looked maybe all year. So I think the high minutes are going to be a concern as the year goes on, but at the same time, you got to get right. And the Kings not only have to worry about playing with DeRozan, Lyles down the line, they got to stay afloat in the time being too.
Well, that's the other thing too, because of the games. You're on a 4-game losing streak. In theory, and here's the other side of it. The Timberwolves, they lose in overtime to the Houston Rockets last night. They're on a 3-game losing streak. The 3 times the Kings have played the Timberwolves, the first time they lost the first game of the season, national TV. Okay. Second time they were on a 3-game losing streak, and they had lost to the Blazers twice in Portland. And now here they've lost 3 in a row, and they just lost overtime to the Rockets. Seems like and they lost to the Raptors during that 3-game losing stretch. Seems like the Kings are the only team the Timberwolves can beat. They're going to use them or want to use them as a palate cleanser. And to be honest, if you're the Timberwolves, you're looking at the Kings like they're wounded right now. No DeMar DeRozan, no Trey Lyles. So this could get dicey. And in theory, I want to say, look, I know this is going to be a tough game for the Kings, but we can't keep saying this. You got to start stacking wins at some point. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I think tonight's a big swing one. Both teams lost 6 of their last 8. The Minnesota Timberwolves kind of also losing trying to figure out their new identity this year, moving on from Cat, and they get Conley back today, which I think will actually be huge for them. That's kind of been a big part of, having some of that playmaking and just a veteran presence. I think to even things out has been big for them, but it's a get-right opportunity for both teams. Really, they're sitting at 8-9, Kings 8-10. They're 10th and 11th in the Western Conference. Like, both teams kind of need this one. And you mentioned the back-to-back with Minnesota just having played last night, overtime game against Houston. So there's some things that point this a little bit in the Kings' favor.
Yeah, and I hate to point the fingers at again. If we're talking Kings Timberwolves, the thing I'm looking at the most tonight is 3-point shooting. The Timberwolves have just kind of cakewalked themselves to wins from the 3-point line. And even looking at the 2 games Kings have lost, both games they allowed Minnesota to shoot 40% from 3 or better. And I think I put it out last game that they played 18 games so far. In 11 of them, they've allowed their opponents to shoot 40% or better. That is the most in the NBA. The 3-point defense really has been a killer. And Is there a quick fix to that? I'm not sure. I think losing a couple of guys isn't going to help either, having Trey and DeMar both out. But like you said, if Jae Crowder's available, and we don't know, we're not sure if he's going to be cleared to go or not, but that obviously would help. And if he's not able to go, very interesting to see how they're going to piece it together on the defensive, from that standpoint. And it's, as a roster as a whole, like, what does your depth look like missing those two guys? We haven't seen it yet, but that provides opportunity. Like Mike says, next man up. And if the Kings want to turn it around sooner than later, they gotta have no excuses, because they're not the only team in the league that's shorthanded right now. And I think a lot of people were kind of looking at, just reading through some replies yesterday, the Kings are not the only team that has to deal with missing multiple guys. So no excuses. No one's going to feel sorry for you, and they got to get after it.
Bring out the Joneses.
Bring out the Joneses. Bring out somebody. Let's have some blame pie as we ask the guys who needs to step up the most to turn this thing around. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get Black Friday savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, now through Monday, shop Folsom Lake Kia for massive Black Friday discounts. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit JiffyLube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Kings Black Friday deals are here. Cheer on the Sacramento Kings with slam dunk deals this holiday season. Save up to 25% on Kings tickets. Take 20% off Kings gear in the team store. You can even elevate your game day with 20% off experiences on the Kings home court at Golden One Center. Don't miss out on scoring these deals for all the Kings fans on your list. These incredible deals are only here for a limited time. Check out all the offers for tickets, gear, experiences, and more at kings.com/Black Friday.
Toyota's Black Friday sales event ends soon. Take advantage of the biggest savings of the year and gear up for adventure in a legendary Toyota truck.
Ready, set, let's go.
Get $2,000 cash back on Tundra and Tundra Hybrid, or lease a Tacoma 4x4 for as low as $269 a month.
Ready, set, let's go.
The clock is ticking on Toyota's Black Friday sales event. Don't miss out. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium ready credit ends 12/2/24.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking. Like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here, so drop that jingle.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O Double G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us, plus 4 lines for $25.
With 24 monthly bill credits for eligible trade-ins and 20 lines with autopay. All qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99 credits end. Pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence available now.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, From rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all, and much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno. Or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
All right, guys. Here with Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez. In an hour, by the way, we'll be joined by Sean Cunningham of Fox 40 sports reporter. He does great work. He was one of the first ones on the Jae Crowder signing, so we will talk to Sean in an hour. But yesterday we played a little bit of blame pie, but I want to make it more positive, okay, today for you two. All right, and I want to ask the question this way. If you cut the percent, what's so funny, Frank?
You want to make it more positive just for today?
What do you mean just for?
What was it going to be besides?
Let's call blame pie.
I know.
Blame pie.
All right, just roll it out.
It's a positive blame pie.
Instead of why the Kings are where they're at right now, I want to flip this into the percentages and slices of pie as to how the Kings can turn it around. So would it be 30%? Goes to Monty McNair as far as being able to turn it around. 30% goes to Mike Brown. 40% goes to the players. You can say specific players if you want. The world is your oyster right now, or I should say pie. And I would say this, and I'll kick it off, and we can see where we go from there. I would say as far as the Kings turning it around, I'd have to give – I want to go 30%, but I'll stay at 25% to Monty McNair. I just think this roster has to improve.
Yeah, I was going to say like 20% about for Monty McNair. I mean, I think that the forward depth and the lack thereof was known coming into the season. Wing forward depth, and it's proven to be a problem, which I don't think is the most surprising thing. Obviously, the injuries have exposed that even more so, I think, and you're going to feel that, especially with Trey Lyles going down 3 to 4 weeks or whatever that timeline may end up playing out to be. But I think that something has to be there, even though I also stand on it never had to be this year necessarily. Still time to fix it, but they have the opportunity to.
Yeah, just by sitting here, I just kind of cooked up a little percentage chart. Let's see. So the way that I'm going to lay mine out is I'm putting 20% on the shooting because 20% on the shooters. So I'm lumping in Kevin Huerter, I'm lumping in Keegan Murray, and pretty much those two. I guess I'm going to say Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter. 20% on those guys. 26% in the NBA in three-point shooting is insane for a team that's supposed to be, well, many people thought, not just in Sacramento, but outside of the market, thought maybe would be a top 6 team in the Western Conference. And a loaded Western Conference, mind you. So I'm putting 20% on the shooters, 20% on ball movement and playmaking. Now, I don't want to say that's on De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, but the team as a whole is making the right reads, making the right pass. Because right now, a surprising thing that I didn't really fully realize, I guess, they're 25th in the league in assists per game right now. And that was a team that was 3rd in the NBA during the Beam Team, the inaugural season. They were 7th last year. We're talking about 18 spots they've dropped in assists per game. So I'm looking at that's a huge component of what makes them successful, and getting back to the middle of the pack, I think would be a huge adjustment there. I'm putting 20% more on coaching. Mike Brown needs to find the right rhythm here at these players and find the rotations aren't very stable. They change every night, it seems like. I think a lot of teams, you kind of have a clear picture of who's expected to do what. I think it's very hard to come into a game in a situation when you're not fully expecting if you're going to be going tonight, if you're going to be playing 25 minutes, if you're going to be playing 5.
I mean, look at McLaughlin. I know Malik is back now, but that game right before Malik came back, and you went with Colby Jones. And McLaughlin, in my opinion, played pretty well.
He looked great. I mean, even that game against Utah, I mean, he had the shot that ended up being the difference, the 3-pointer in the corner. So finding some stability there would be important. And the biggest chunk of my pie, 40%, goes to Monty McNair in the front office, because this has been a long-standing issue. And look, tip of the cap, this team has been a good basketball team for multiple years now. They broke the playoff drought. They were in the play-in last year for a franchise that has been inept and spinning its wheels for almost 20 years until then. He turned it around. He hired the right guy. They made the right moves. They've had the same aside before the DeRozan Barnes trade. They had the same 1 through 7 for almost 3 years. And if you want to say he swapped DeRozan for Barnes, that's a good swap. Sure.
Yeah.
Outside of that, the depth has not been addressed in a way that can help really elevate this team to the next level. And I feel like they've taken shots or they've tried. We've heard a lot from people just that they did try to make these certain moves. We heard that they were in the finalist group for Alex Caruso and it fell through. There's a lot of trades that have happened that they felt that didn't happen. But, the whole 2 to tango thing, we hear it a lot. It's true, but you have to find a way to address this team's depth before it's too late because the clock's ticking. De'Aaron Fox, we know he wants to play for a winner. What would a 500 or sub 500 season do to his confidence in this team? Even though he can get the Supermax here, I know that's a huge other component of it, but you have to address this team's depth before it gets too late because DeMar DeRozan, like you said, 35, Sabonis 27. We see how big men age in the NBA. Maybe he'll stay healthy for the long term, maybe not, who knows? But you have to take advantage of this window, especially at the time right now where it's early in the Western Conferences. That window is closing right now. We're watching it. We're seeing teams like Houston, they're coming. San Antonio, they're on the rise. Like there's just so many teams that are in the mix right now, and the Kings right now need to assert themselves.
Yeah, and the Grizzlies as well. They're struggling to get healthy with Ja, but if they click, that's another teams that we thought were done. I mean, I know we're only 18 games in, but we didn't think the Warriors would be there. We didn't think the Lakers would be there. Will they be there when it's all said and done? No clue, but they're there right now, and that's a problem. The Clippers are right there. They haven't laid down already. And I would say when it comes to what this team is going to need to do and what possibly Monty McNair is going to need to do is you need to decide what you want your future to look like, because this whole idea of we're going to hang on, blah, 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 you're hanging on and you're getting leapfrogged, and nobody wants to get leapfrogged. And that's a problem. And, nobody is going to take very kindly to that. And I would say above Monty McNair wouldn't take very kindly to that. You had an opportunity, and I get the past of Sacramento and why I essentially gave the front office a pass last season, because how could you move on from the Beam team? But that's me. That's me just saying, I guess I see why. But these other teams, they don't care about the past. They can't get complacent. You can't cop feelings or whatever it's called. These teams that, all right, we went to the first round, didn't work, we're moving. I mean, look at what and maybe the Mavericks didn't make the right move, but as far as moving, letting Brunson walk, but the Mavericks that's aggressive. When I think aggressive, I think the Mavericks. Monty McNair might think in his mind he's aggressive, and I don't think he's completely non-aggressive, but when I think a lot of people think of aggressive, they think about, and not to say that they're all the right moves, but I think of the Mavs, I think of the Suns, I think of teams that are willing to I think of what the Timberwolves have done. I think of teams that are not afraid to be wrong. And because there's a lot of ways to move off of the wrong decisions in the NBA. There's no way to miss out on, there's no way to go back in time and figure out things that you missed and correct that. So you can't be afraid. What do you say, Gretzky? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael Scott quote.
Well, Michael Scott as well. So you got to get out there and you got to take some hacks.
I think the front office, I've always described them as very advantageous.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we saw them do with DeMar DeRozan. They really didn't give up that much. They gave up the first round swap and Harrison Barnes. Even smaller, Chris Duarte, they gave a second round pick to just capitalize on trying to get that guy. I even think the Domas and Tyrese trade can be qualified as advantageous.
Yes.
Like you took advantage of the maybe not peak of Tyrese's value, but it was definitely up there at the time. And you got Domas, and you were actually the one that got second round picks in return. So it's hard to preach patience in a time like this, but I think that that's the trend we've seen of how this front office operates, is that they're going to be very patient, and they don't. I think there's a lot of fear, which I think is reasonable, of making the wrong move. And don't know that, but just kind of speaking on reading between the lines and the actions that we've seen up to this point. And I don't mind that. I get what you're saying about like, go take some risks, but I do think they have been very calculated from these other teams. And, you know, it can get tiring, but it's not a lack of trying. We saw like the Ingram conversations, Markkanen. We know they offered a lot to try and go get Lauri Markkanen, who I think would have made a lot of sense, but it's like, is Kuzma, if you did do the Kuzma trade and then it was wrong, you're totally screwing it up. Right now, you still have an opportunity where you have assets to essentially go make that another move. The worst thing is to make the wrong move rather than no move at all, which no move can be the wrong move sometimes. But again, it's hard to preach patience at a time like this, but I think that's how we've seen them operate.
Yeah, and like I will say to Brendan's point, Monty has, I think, hit on those big acquisitions so far. I mean, DeRozan gets his TBD. We'll have to see, but he's been playing great when he's on the floor. Yeah. From a personal standpoint, from a singular standpoint, the numbers are good for him. Mm-hmm. And Domantas Sabonis speaks for itself. He's on track to be one of the best players in franchise history, a multi-time All-NBA player already with the organization. So those both took a little bit of time, and they both were big moves that kind of came out of nowhere. And I think that kind of makes you kind of look at it and say, okay, well, maybe that will happen this year, but you know, at the same time, it's just when is enough? Like what is going to push that button?
That's what I'm asking. We're 18 games in. If you're 2 games under 500 at game 25, is it all right? We got to go do something. What if you're 500? Is that good enough? It's early until it's late. That's my fear here.
What's the fear behind it having to be this year? I guess is it De'Aaron?
It's De'Aaron. It's a 35-year-old DeMar, I would say, unless whoever you're signing is going to make DeMar not be the second or third option anymore. There is, and we got to get to the other side, but I would say this too. You also should take advantage of some of the fool's gold that we're seeing. You know, I'm not saying that these, front offices are stupid, but if the Warriors want to believe that they're good enough and they're not, because they're in second place right now, so they're not interested, they're not looking at the Cam Johnsons of the world, and the Lakers want to believe that they're good enough, so they're not looking at these guys, but then by February they could have come back to earth, and now you're in a bidding war. At least you stink now.
Atlanta has your pick top 12 protected. You might want to keep it. You know,
I mean, you
or
might
have to make sure you keep your pick stage.
I know. Look, in Atlanta, helped themselves beat the Kings. So I mean, that's some insider trading there.
I think that the way I'm looking at it, though, with this group, this core, I feel like in the assets that are left available, this is, like you mentioned, Brendan, like I don't want to say a gamble, but if they make one big move, that's probably it for this group. Like it has to work, and if it doesn't, then we see them kind of blow it up down the line. But that's the kind of pressure. Like if you want to have those assets kind of ready, at the ready for a bigger player that becomes available, because we don't know who's going to fall in the playoff race just yet. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do think it might take a little longer until we see a real move made, because I think that Monty and West, they have their eyes on a bigger fish than a Cam Johnson. And they want to use those first round picks and those expirings or those whatever players they have at their disposal to use for a bigger player than Cam Johnson or Kyle Kuzma. Because I don't know if those players are going to let the Kings and do a top tier level in the Western Conference.
All right, let's hold that thought. Christopher Lodd's giving me the Dame Lillard. On the other side, let's bust out the trade generator. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-5500 3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Black Friday has officially landed at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento. The best deals of the year on power tools are happening now from November 25th through December 2nd. Get low-price Makita Bear tools starting at just $89, Makita batteries starting at only $49, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to grab the hottest power tool deals of the year. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit us in person at 6701 Power Inn Road or shop online anytime at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 PGA and LPGA teaching professional Kelly Stenzel offers a few tweaks for your short game, including putt whenever you can, chip when you can't putt, and pitch only when you have to. For small distance, small setup. Shorter shots require smaller swings. Grip the handle lower for less power, and a narrow stance will limit your backswing. For large distance, large setup. The farther you want to hit the wedge, the larger the swing needs to be. Full length on the grip and a wider stance create more power. And posture is key for contact and loft. See that your short game posture reflects that of your full swing. Ball position tips. Left for loft. For right-handed golfers, move the ball forward and increase loft. Right for roll. Moving the ball back decreases the loft for more roll. Sharpen your short game and watch your scores drop and your enjoyment rise. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Jeep Adventure Days now that Black Friday's here?
Get your hands on one of America's favorite SUVs with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP or 0% financing for 72 months on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. You pick.
Wow, and those new Grand Cherokees are really nice.
Yeah, they are. But remember, the savings isn't just on new Jeeps. We have over 200 quality used cars available and over 40 under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE after $4,750 dealer discount and $12,250 factory and federal rebates. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders and $3,750 federal EV tax credit subject to change. 0% APR for 72 months. Option is available as a standalone offer and cannot be combined with other incentives. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify through SFS. $1,389 per thousand borrow. 5 of this net savings. See dealer for details. Sample VIN 684-904.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Gotta get this in before Kyle Ledbetter comes back because he won't get this reference, but Christopher Ladd will. We're joined by Frankie Cardicelli and Brendan Nunes. So we were talking about the trades and how you can make a wrong trade and that can set your franchise back, or is it worse to not make a trade and then you're just wondering what happened or what could have been? And it reminded me, Chris Verlade, of Mighty Ducks when Bombay is talking to his coach and the coach says, "You're not a has-been, Bombay. You're a never was." I don't want the Kings to be a never was, man. You're worse than a has-been.
It's one of the coldest lines in a family movie.
Ever. You're worse than a has-been.
It's very rude. Is that a Emilio Estevez?
Yeah. You're worse than a has-been, Frankie.
Charlie Sheen's brother, you know that?
Yes.
Some people don't know that.
They look exactly the same.
Nobody doesn't know that.
They look exactly the same. All right. Hopefully the Kings aren't doing the Spider-Man meme with the version of themselves that's been the 4-game losers, and they can get back on the right side of things, guys. But we're going to have some fun here. And I did cook up something, and a couple texters are chiming in with their trades. And I do have this one. You hear me out on this one?
I'm going to hear you out,
Sure.
because it's Thanksgiving Eve, and I'm gonna be nice to you. So let's hear it.
I mean, I don't know why it has to be being nice to me. This is what the Kings need. I'm trying to help the team.
Marcus Morris.
Okay.
Yep.
The Kings get Cam Johnson.
I like the start.
The Kings give up. Got to make the money work. Kevin Huerter.
I think you kind of have to. I think at any point we're talking about deals, it has to. He's the contract that has to be included.
So Cam Johnson on a 3-year deal, 23 a year. He's 28 years old. Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, Keon Ellis, and a 2027 first rounder.
You had me till Keon.
You are the Nets do it. Respect Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles, and I know Jordy has some familiarity.
What was the draft
with them.
pick?
2027 first rounder.
That should be enough. I personally feel like that should be enough.
Without Keon.
Without Keon, I feel like that should be enough.
Brendan?
I think it could be. I mean, it obviously is kind of dependent on if other teams are willing to pay more. I'm still in the camp of probably hold on to your picks and like swing for a big fish at some point. I think that's what eventually makes this team better.
Enough with this fishing trip. What do you? Who is this? Who is the name?
I think you could hear Lauri Markkanen again this offseason.
Hold on for a second.
Give me a name.
If you make that deal, you trade 3 role players who are in the core rotation, mind you, the top 8 of the rotation.
Yeah.
You get one back. What are you doing? Because at the same time, you have to pay Keegan Murray if you're not going to include any of these deals. You have to include Keegan Murray. You have De'Aaron Fox, might be on a supermax in the next year or so. Domas Sabonis making big money. How do you round out the bench? You round out the bench with guys that are on cheaper contracts.
The bench is not rounded out now.
But you're gonna trade away one of your assets like Keon Ellis in a larger deal?
I don't want to do it. You don't have to do it. I'm just giving you options.
I say no if Keon's included in that deal.
And the Nets hang up if he's not.
That's fine.
I think.
We will see you in another deal.
Yeah, we'll see you the next time you're whooping our you-know-whats at home without Dennis Schroeder.
It was
How about that?
It was a close game.
I think it technically, by the way, would have to be a 2028 pick because the protections go until 2026 with that Atlanta pick right now. And that's where my complications are of like, well, then how much can you do after that? You know, because then you run into more Steppy and stuff that you can't trade firsts.
Sure.
It's worth considering for sure.
Here's my thing. When it comes to GMs and head coaches, a lot of times they're in lockstep, but sometimes they're not. So as you're talking, Brendan, and you're mentioning what if it's not this year, number one, I feel like we had that same conversation last year.
You're right.
So now it's another conversation of, oh, we're not going to go all in this year. That's fine. But depending on where this thing goes, who is going to make these moves? Who's going to coach this team if this thing goes left? That would be what I would say. I mean, somebody's going to be around, but you're waiting. I think we don't know if the ownership is okay with that. That's what we don't know.
Right.
And there's no way for us to know.
I mean, there's a track record of a little bit of impatience there. And you're right. We did have these same conversations last year, which I think complicates it. But it's not like they didn't try last offseason. Like, again, the advantageous move of DeMar DeRozan, it hasn't really clicked in the way that you necessarily thought it would. But, you know, if you feel good about De'Aaron and your top players, you know, you're really your top 5 of De'Aaron, Domas, DeMar, and Malik and Keegan. If they're not really tripping, then I think it's okay. But that is an aspect that we don't know. How do they feel about it being another year where maybe this isn't the year where we take another leap? But also, it changes fast. I keep coming back to this, is that like it changes fast, and this season could turn around quickly. I don't know that I'm counting on it, and I think it's very reasonable that everybody's down right now. But things change really, really fast in the NBA.
They do. Guys, I read this to you during the break, but I asked you to answer it on air from the 916. Can you guys talk about Monty's lack of success creating assets with the bottom of the first round or second round draft picks? I mean, that's it's a skill. It's not a given.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, what is the percentage of second round picks or late first that usually pan out to be Right. And there are several. There are many, but in every draft every year, the amount of draft picks, the Kings have just obviously missed. And I do get frustrated, I will say personally, by seeing not just the Kings, but some teams kind of like just dispose of some picks somehow. Yeah. And the Kings dispose of second-round picks like, they hand them out like it's candy on Halloween. So I think you have more thoughts on the draft picks.
I would say, I actually think that the way that they use seconds, the trading them, I think they've done pretty well with that. I know that it also meant losing Davion this offseason and Sasha being kind of the salary match, but they gave up that 45th pick in the draft, ended up being Jamal Sheed right now. And that was just to create space for DeMar DeRozan. Not a great pick, 45th. They did the same thing, trading away Rashawn Holmes, and that ended up being Jaden Hardy for what it's worth, and added Domas's extension. So I think they've been creative with seconds, and, first round hit miss rate is what it is when you're end of the lottery or these second rounders. Like, you never know.
You never know. Jalen Wells on the Grizzlies, Sonoma State, Seawolves.
There's also Keon Ellis.
Keon Ellis.
That's about it. But yeah.
There's more coming.
Isaac Jones?
Boogie Ellis. Where's Boogie Ellis at? We need
209.
There you go. All right, go check him out, and go check these guys out on SacktownSports.com. Also on social media, Twitter, Blue Sky, Brendan Nunez, Frankie Cardicelli. Guys, real quick, I know we got to go. Frankie, what are you looking forward tomorrow for Thanksgiving? Favorite food from Thanksgiving?
Mashed potatoes, 100%.
Mashed potatoes for Frankie.
I would have said mashed potatoes. I'll go mac and cheese, though.
Okay.
We're both going basic.
Mac and cheese for Brendan. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your time off, and we will talk to you next week when we return. As we mentioned before, a very, very hardcore Kings fan, Jack Dan, on social media has a full thread breakdown of Keon Ellis starting and how that can help Keegan Murray. We break all that down on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right out of the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Yo, 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 Dad is in the house. What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday. Get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN is rated as outstanding on PC Mag. Just visit NordVPN.com and discover the benefits of this all-around cybersecurity tool. It will encrypt your online traffic. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. So improve your digital privacy and protection with one simple click. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, it's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine, November 16th through January 1st at the Westfield Galleria Mall in Roseville and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at givingmachine.greatersacramentomodesto.org.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Great stuff from Frankie Cardicelli and Brennan Nunez. Like I said, be sure to follow them on social media. You can catch all their work on sacktownsports.com. Kyle Ledbetter is back behind the glass for us. Thank you to Christopher Ladd for getting us to the 12 o'clock hour. 2 hours down, 2 to go. In 30 minutes, we will be joined by Sean Cunningham of Fox 40. We're going to break down more Kings talk with Sean Cunningham, of course, maybe a little bit of Blake Snell, because Sean, another Giants fan like myself, and it's a rough day for us. Rough day. I did see that, I believe the A's did have a conversation, or I believe that was with Walker Buehler, and Walker Buehler said, no, thank you. There are a lot of free agents. So, yeah, a lot of people are trying to, or a lot of teams are trying to take advantage of that. And hey, the A's they're trying to. Everybody is trying to get somewhere. And where we are going to go right now, as I mentioned, a thread that I just came across that I thought was really interesting. This is from, his name is Jack Dan KF, 2 N's on Twitter. Internet basketball talker is how he describes himself. His TikTok, Jack the Kings fan. So go check that out. And what he did was a bit of a breakdown on Keon Ellis helping Keegan Murray. So this is not about, again, getting on Kevin Huerter. This is trying to make the most of this roster. Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, they don't want me to bust out the trade generator. Okay, fine. Well, we have to figure out a way to make the most out of the ingredients that we do have and make the best meal that we can make, because right now, I don't think that's what's happening in the King's kitchen. So let's go here, and I'm just going to go through the thread. And Jack says the key to getting Keegan Murray going and potentially getting the train back on track is to maximize the time he spends on the floor with Keon Ellis. And he starts the thread. With Keon on the floor, Keegan's defensive responsibility lessens, and in turn, his offense and the team's offense thrives. In lineups that feature Keegan and Keon, the Kings outscore opponents by 35 with a defensive rating of 106.4, which is a -8, and an offensive rating of 116.1. That's a net rating of 9.7. That's plus 9.4. That is really, really good. So if we were to compare that to some of the other teams in the league right now and where that would fall, obviously it would have to be, if not every single minute, but to put that in perspective, the net rating for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are number 1 in the league right now, is 11.8. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they are at 11. The Boston Celtics, number 3, are at 10.7. The Houston Rockets, their net rating is at 8.5. So going back to what Jack said, lineups that feature Keegan and Keon right now have a net rating of 9.4. So that would be good for 4th in the NBA as far as net rating is concerned. So again, small sample size, we get all that, but it's something to keep in mind. As we continue on, Jack says, let's contrast that to lineups that feature both Keegan and Kevin Huerter, a pairing that have shared the floor for 127 more minutes. So got to keep that in mind. The Kings get outscored by opponents by 49 with a defensive rating of 114.6, an offensive rating of 107 with a net rating of a negative 7.6. Jack goes on to say, I'm not simply posting this to poo-poo on Kevin Huerter. These numbers look bad when it's Malik Monk too, but with Monk, you get significantly more offensive punch. Keegan's ability to be an offensive contributor swings the Kings in a massive way. He says last night, again, this was a couple nights ago, when he was paired with Keon to start the game, he was aggressive and assertive and able to create space, and the Kings were able to keep pace. With an elite perimeter defender on the floor, all due respect to Fox, the Kings got nuked on both ends, or without an elite perimeter defender on the floor, all due respect to De'Aaron Fox, the Kings got nuked on both ends, and Keegan wasn't able to create space and score. I know the final score may tell a different story about the lineup change, and it's certainly not the final solution to this team's struggles. It's a pretty clear step in the right direction. So that was great stuff there from Jack, and again, kudos to him for doing it in a way where, hey, this isn't about Kevin Huerter, hasn't looked great with Malik Monk either. It's just more about Keon Ellis and what Keon brings to the table. I mean, I think that Keon isn't a perfect defender. I think that he can continue to improve, and Mike Brown would tell you that. But, you're asking, it's about asking Keegan Murray to do less things. And you're sitting there, you're asking Keegan Murray to get 8 rebounds a game. You're asking Keegan Murray to shoot the 3 ball because you need shooters. You got to space the floor. You're asking Keegan Murray to defend the best player. Now, there are going to be situations where the best player is just too large for Keon to guard. But a day like today, I mean, the shooting guard, I think you start Keon and see what he can do against Anthony Edwards. You at least see, right? I mean, you have the quickness problem with Keegan Murray, and you have the size problem with Keon Ellis. So it's going to be a healthy mix of both.
You would feel better having Keegan guard Julius Randle with the knowledge that they can't even play DeRozan at the 4 in spots. Like,
right.
The first 2 times they played Minnesota, it was like, well, I guess we can get away with DeRozan playing the 4. Now DeRozan's out, so I think you kind of just have to take your lumps. You're going to have Keegan guard Julius Randle and give Keon the start and have him defend Anthony Edwards for 28 minutes.
Yeah, you're just trying to survive right now. It's all about surviving. It's all about making sure that you put your best foot forward. And look, things can change. Kevin Huerter is not going to not play. They can't afford to not play Kevin Huerter. So when he gets his opportunities, he's got to show up and show out. But right now, I think that you have to see what Keon can give you. And especially if he's shooting the basketball at a high clip, that's just what you need. And if it's going to allow Keegan Murray a little bit more freedom to focus on getting that shot right, I think it's a bit of a no-brainer right now. And if you look at the priorities on what is most important, Keegan Murray shooting the three ball the way that the Kings need him to shoot the three ball is at the top of the list. So you have to do whatever you can to help that happen and to help make that happen. And if by the numbers, and again, shout out to Jack, go follow him on Twitter, Jack Dan KF, and Jack the Kings fan on TikTok. These numbers that Jack has kind of broken down for us, I mean, straight up, just like Travis Scott says, you have to at least play these guys enough to say, all right, this was a small sample size. This isn't working either. As of right now, it has been working. Now, last night or a couple nights ago against the Thunder, that's a buzzsaw. And again, the Thunder played really well. The Thunder played really well a couple nights ago. I know I'm not, the Kings, they got to figure it out. But the Thunder, it's not like they lost and you were thinking, man, the Thunder didn't even show up to play and the Kings couldn't get it done. I know it's spilled milk or whatever you want to call it, but the Thunder, they gave a really good effort.
No, you're right. It was a beatdown.
Yeah.
It was a thorough beatdown, especially in that second half. And again, it's not like the Thunder aren't the best team in the Western Conference or anything.
Well, exactly. So that's not to Jack's point, that's not a great barometer for whether a lineup didn't work or not. I'll never forget this, Kyle. I'm in school, right? And randomly I look at the lineup and coach had me bat 3. And I never batted 3. I was always lead off 2 or wherever. I look at the lineup. I don't know why. I'm assuming we had lost that game prior and I was in the 3-hole. I went 1 for 3 and it was a lefty. So this was old school because this was before the matchups, and lefties aren't even allowed to face lefties anymore unless you're getting paid $100 million.
Okay, so wait, what level of play was this?
This was when I was at the junior college.
Okay, junior college. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, if it's high school, they'll just throw whoever out there. But
This was college, and then after that, I went 1 for 3. Didn't have a bad day. Never batted 3 again. So it wasn't necessarily a good measuring stick for whether or not I could be a 3-hitter. The same way throwing Keon Ellis out there against the best team in the West, probably not a great barometer to figure out whether or not this is going to work or not. I think tonight is a really good opportunity to see what Keon can do against a struggling Timberwolves team, and not just Keon, what the team can do, because you're missing DeMar DeRozan. You have an opportunity for this to be a good win. Javier, we see you out of Vacaville. We will get to you on the other side. You will kick off our 12-15 segment. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's better over here.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With autopay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling your entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
I'm Coach Doug Christie, urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia for massive Black Friday discounts on your next new or certified pre-owned Kia. Now through Monday, hurry to Folsom Lake Kia, folsomlakekia.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
We will be joined by Sean Cunningham in about 15 minutes. If you have any questions for Sean, throw them in the Sack chat. Throw them on the text line. Just as the 916 has thrown this on the text line. Why are you so hung up on Keon Ellis? This team has maybe 7 or 8 true NBA players on the roster, and the rest are G League talent. The starters cannot keep playing 35-plus minutes because the bench is so weak. McNair has rested his laurels for 2 years, and the lack of bench talent is pretty obvious. They need forwards and draft guards. Fans are upset because the team has not kept pace with division talent. You guys know it, Sam in Elk Grove. Well, Sam, I know everyone can be running around from time to time, so welcome to the program, because clearly you haven't heard me for the last couple hours here and possibly all week. That was a segment specifically about Keon Ellis starting, and that's why we were talking about Keon Ellis. But I know people are out and about dropping off turkeys, picking up turkeys, doing different things. So, yeah, if you heard me any of the last couple hours here or any of this week, been really hard on Monty McNair and them needing to make a move. So welcome to the program, Sam from Elk Grove. Now let's get to Javier in Vacaville, who wants to be a part of the conversation, 916-339-1140. If you want to be a part of the conversation, what's up, Javier? What you got?
How you doing today, Mr. Stiles? I would say I'm glad they picked up Crowder. I just feel like that was just a way to get even in regards to balancing out the roster to a certain extent come August, September when camp started. So I don't feel like it's a plus minus. I feel like it's all right. So now we're, where we should be in regards to front court depth and having some solidification to the bench. But I think we shouldn't stop there. I think, we talk about dog, we talk about 3-point shooters. Well, how do we go give Marcus Morris a sign? 10 days. Like, that's a dog. That's the guy that shot 40% from the 3-point line last year and would be solidified we have plenty of forward depth now. And I'd even go to say with him and Crowder, those would be our 2 free agent acquisitions. I would go try out Daniel House from the 76ers and the Rockets, as well as Jae Crowder's former teammate, Robert Covington. I'm not saying sign all 3 of them.
Right.
But I would sign Marcus Morris today.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Javier. And it's funny because I got clowned. I think it was Marcus Morris. It was one of the Morris twins. I got clowned by Frankie and Brendan last season when I brought up Marcus Morris. Dang it, Javier. You should have called in an hour ago. Frankie, I know you're listening somewhere in the building. And Brendan. Thank you, Marcus Morris.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
We're letting everyone in the door right now.
Why not?
I'm sure you guys talked about Jae Crowder in the first hour while I was gone, but Jae Crowder was pretty much Marcus Morris for however many years.
Yeah.
And then the Kings gave him a shot. So why not? Just bring them all in at this point. I mean, the Kings are just saying our bench players are not good enough.
Right.
Therefore, we're just going to sign guys off the street. We don't believe in the deep bench guys more than some guy we just signed yesterday.
Well, and the other part of it is you can look at this optimistically or pessimistically. And I think that the Kings are looking at our Kings fans are trying to look at things. Most of them, I won't say all, are trying to look at things optimistically because Jerry Reynolds was on the show, or he was on with the Drive guys yesterday, and he essentially said, or he didn't essentially say, this is the quote, if you're bringing in players that you don't really think can perform at a high level, your chances aren't better, they're worse. So there's a positive way to look at things, and then there's a negative way to look at things to say, well, if we're depending on Jae Crowder and we're depending on Marcus Morris, we have a problem. I think what I would say is, well, I think we all know that there's a problem, but there's no way to fix it without giving up right now guys that you don't want to give up. It's a problem that Monty McNair is trying to solve in this specific way.
I'll say it's going against the grain, at least, because a lot of teams are opting to stack their deep bench with second-round picks, undrafted guys, two-way players, guys in their 20s. The Kings are kind of going against the grain with the Doug McDermott signing, the Jae Crowder signing, a theoretical Marcus Morris signing, if that's what you want to talk about. Like, it's certainly going against the grain to sign 10-year veterans to fill your bench that other teams have looked at and said, no thanks, we're good. We'd rather put our resources elsewhere. That doesn't mean better or worse. It's just the Kings are going against the grain because that's the roster construction they have. And to the texter's point, if you feel like they only have 7 or 8 NBA quality players on the team, then there's no way to draft them. There's no way to draft new players in November. So this is the path they've chosen.
And that's why it's a bit confusing where the Kings fall on this whole I guess spectrum of, are you all in or are you not? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you weren't all in, you would be putting more stake into some of the younger guys. And all right, let's see what they can be because we have time to develop them. We have time to see what they can be. If you're one of these teams like the Pistons or whoever, they're taking the James Wisemans of the world and figuring out, all right, what's left. As far as the Kings are concerned, you going out and getting dudes that can play, even though they might, have a couple more gray hairs than they did a couple years ago, that tells me that you don't feel like you have time to take any flyers, right? You're getting dudes that their ceilings aren't that high, but that they can perform at some sort of level on the NBA stage. So that's why I go back and forth with guys like Frankie and Brendan here on the roundtable when we do it once a week and say, well, are they all in or not? Because you're making some type of all-in moves, but then you're not making the big move. You got Brendan sitting over here talking about, well, they could go for the big fish next season, and it's how many next seasons are we going to have to wait?
How many big fishes are there, too? Because I thought DeRozan was a big upgrade. I thought that was going to be the big 4, and they were going to do that. So at this point, look, I don't think there's going to be any trade that happens until at least December 15th and more likely January 15th, just because that's when all the players are available for trade. Like anyone who signed an extension or a contract this offseason can't be traded until those dates.
Yeah.
But even if you're waiting 6 weeks, I guess this is a short-term fix, which is, I mean, yay, Jae Crowder. We both like Jae Crowder, but at the same time, it's like, oh, we're not even at the point where they can make trades, and we're already trying to plug holes.
Sean Cunningham, Fox 40 sports reporter, he joins us on the other side. Do you have any questions for Sean? Please let me know, because we have some questions for Sean. What does he think about Jae Crowder and that signing? And as far as a panic meter for the Kings, is he pushing it yet? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Black Friday has officially landed at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento. The best deals of the year on power tools are happening now from November 25th through December 2nd. Get low-price Makita Bear tools starting at just $89, Makita batteries starting at only $49, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to grab the hottest power tool deals of the year. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit us in person at 6701 Power Inn Road or shop online anytime at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Happy Thanksgiving, and it's Black Friday all month long at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
We will be joined by Sean Cunningham shortly. Allen Stiles here. Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are starting to get to a point where the Sacramento Kings are at the very least interesting. You know, I've been talking to a lot of people over the last couple days just about how many calls we've been getting and how many texts we've been getting and the difference between last season and this season. And I think the reality is, even with the Kings not playing well, they're still more interesting than they were last season. Last season, you knew you had to run back the same team. Or I shouldn't say you knew you did, but we knew that it was realistic for the Kings to run back the same team because they had performed so well and had taken the city to heights that it hadn't been in a very long time. And then you just weren't good enough. And then it became, okay, well, does it really make sense to go all in like the Mavs did for a lot of high-priced guys? There weren't as many options, I feel like. Last season, it was Kyle Kuzma. I do think there was the Zach LaVine conversation. I do think there still was a conversation about, Dorian Finney-Smith as well. But the pool didn't seem as big, and there were a lot of teams interested in a lot of the same players. So the difference between last season and this season, I think, is huge. But the main thing is the Kings are at the very least, and I know it might not count for too much if you keep losing games, the very least they're interesting. And that is something that they were not last season. Well, we know someone that is always interesting, and that is one Sean Cunningham. And Sean Cunningham, I think we have him. Yes, we do. Sean Cunningham of Fox 40 joins us. Sean, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I've got a whole week off. Not a whole week, but it seems like I have a whole week with these 3 days surrounding the Thanksgiving holiday. I got to admit, man, I don't get a lot of days off. It feels weird. I feel like idle hands a little bit. So,
and then the football thing gets very confusing for me because you have multiple games on Thursday. Now, all of a sudden, there's at least one game on Friday. And then you think, oh, wait, it's Saturday. There's nothing, I don't think. And then Sunday has the normal full slate. So I don't know what day. By the time Sunday comes around, I'm very confused as to what day it is.
Yeah, and let's mix in the the turkey hangover and all that. Yep. And for me locally, I mean, there's a ton of high school football section championships. It's Friday and Saturday out at Sac City. So it sets up for a beautiful weekend. Lots of football and got a lot of Kings mixed in as well.
Well, let's get right to it. As far as the Kings are concerned, Sean, you along with Shams and a bunch of other media reps broke the news on Jae Crowder and finalizing the deal with the Kings. What are your initial thoughts? Do you think this is more about, and I don't think anybody is out there thinking that Jae Crowder is going to completely flip this team around, but is this more about the injuries, or do you think even if Trey Lyles and DeMar DeRozan don't go down, they were still going to head in the direction of, all right, we're on a 4-game losing streak. This doesn't look great. We need to do something.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the curiosity there. I don't have full clarity on it yet either. I mean, I think everyone by now knows that, Jae Crowder was in a mix of players that came out to Sacramento in the summer and worked out with some guys, and they were able to kind of, poke and prod a little bit, at least get their eyes on him and see what he still has left in his, going through 13 years in the NBA. And obviously a guy who's known for, size and strength and toughness and just leadership, and obviously has a lot of veteran experience and has kind of had a rather different, it's not like the most blueprint normal path to the NBA. I mean, he's been through trials and tribulations, and he's all about, kind of finding his fit and really making the most of opportunity. And it certainly bared fruit for him. So he's been a bit of a journeyman, and coming over to Sacramento, I mean, I think they knew what bringing in Jae Crowder would look like. It's whether or not, I don't know if it came down to money. I don't know if it came down to Sacramento being the right fit for him. Clearly he wasn't really in training camp with any other team. And I think he wanted to see the way the landscape looked a little bit. But also I think the Kings were really interested in what they had. And so now I think, clearly looking at what the roster is, you're not even quite at 25 games. Here you are in the midst of a 4-game losing streak. And certainly you've got injuries that have plagued the early half of this season. So I could envision Jae Crowder being a fit with this team and being here for the entire season and playing certainly a type of role that they need. But I could also see it go the other way, where it's not a guaranteed deal and he's not around for the long term. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm very interested to see what he still has and the impact he can have, because let's face it, especially with perimeter defense, toughness, the ability to punch first, these are the types of players that they need. Maybe not at 34 and possibly 35, but certainly a little bit younger. But it harkens back memories a little bit and I don't want to draw too much of a comparison, but when they brought in guys like Vince Carter and Zach Randolph to a very, very, very young team, I remember Vince Carter was getting minutes over guys like Justin Jackson. And it's like, that shouldn't happen. Like, you shouldn't have, even though with respect to that Hall of Famer that is Vince Carter, he should not be taking minutes from Justin Jackson, but Justin Jackson couldn't beat him out. So it is what Jae Crowder can bring to the Sacramento Kings, something that you can keep off the floor, and hopefully it brings out the best of others. And if it isn't, he's ready to kind of play that role, but can he do so just kind of rolling off the couch and stepping into uniform? I guess that remains to be seen.
Speaking of stepping into uniform, I saw the clip as far as Jae Crowder was around during shoot around. There have been some reports, and that was from Chris Biederman. There have been some reports of Jae Crowder wasn't necessarily ready for the season. That's why he didn't initially get signed, and questions about whether or not he's going to play tonight. Do you have any information on whether or not he will play tonight?
No, that was the expectation from what I've been kind of hearing around not only the team, but around Jae as well. So I think they're in a position to where he's ready to do that. I don't know that they were expecting the signing to become official this late in the day. I think they were expecting it maybe a little earlier, but without him having an opportunity to go through shoot around, that kind of maybe changes things a little bit. We'll have to wait and see what Mike Brown says and whether or not that becomes official here in the next few minutes or even within the hour. But look, I think Jae Crowder's a professional. He's been in this circumstance the past couple of years where he's been a late addition to some teams. I mean, you look at last year with Milwaukee, 50 games, I believe it was, 25 as a starter. He knows that system very well. So I'm not worried about Jae Crowder fitting in. That's what he's made a career of doing, just being ready and fitting in. I think, to me, it's more so the part I don't have clarity on is what held this up. What was were they looking in other directions? Was the money not quite there? Was Jae Crowder expecting more money? And obviously the Kings at the time were right up against that apron. And with respect, I don't want to put them and shape them into a team that looks like they're being cheap by any means. But once you go into those aprons, signing a guy has consequences and ramifications financially that can really disrupt your organization. So you have to be very wise. I don't think you should fear the apron, but you don't necessarily go into the luxury tax to sign someone like Jae Crowder, right? So that's why you have money that you look at these offseason moves, and I know people will still kind of turn their nose up at maybe the deal with Toronto by sending Mitchell and Vezenkov to Toronto and bringing back a guy like McDaniels who you ultimately don't keep. But those are moves that basically precipitate what happens when bringing in DeMar DeRozan. So making some of those monies fit under that apron to where you don't get necessarily bashed over the head with the tax. But the flip side to that coin is, outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are certainly going to deal with it here in the future, every good team deals with the apron. They're in those luxury tax brackets, so you can't fear it.
Talking to Sean Cunningham, Fox 40 sports reporter. Go check out all of his posts and what he writes and all the videos that he's posting, especially on Twitter. Great follow on Twitter. Sean, let's just go here. Outside of Jae Crowder, and obviously he's going to be a part of it, how can the Kings get back on track? What are you seeing that you think, and outside of just making their threes and making shots, what are and then I don't know if you have any reports on what went down. I know they had some type of team meeting yesterday, but how can these guys get back on track? Is it as simple? Somebody on the text line said they're not making threes. It's just that simple, right? Well, I got a 4-hour show, so I can't say that for 4 hours, but how do they get back on track?
Yeah, winning cures all. I think, to me, I think there's a lot of overreactions. There are certainly things I'm concerned about if I'm looking at this Kings team. I don't think anyone expected them to be looking the way they do. I felt, coming into this season, this is a team that's going to hang their hat on being a fast-paced, elite offense, one that is free-flowing and equal opportunity. That's kind of what their identity is, what they want, but that's not what their identity is. So I think my biggest concern right now, and this isn't an overreaction, I don't think, because I think there are other overreactions out there. I think the most, crucial concern with this team is their identity, because they just don't seem to have one. Allen, we go into I'm not even talking just this 4-game streak, because certainly the 3-point shooting has been a problem. I think that I have liked what I've seen defensively at times. The perimeter defense is just awful. I mean, that part is terrible. Yeah. And it seems like the Kings' kryptonite is a long team that plays hard. And they want to somehow coast to the fourth quarter and then let their star in De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, or DeMar DeRozan, when healthy, kind of take over the fourth quarter and put a team away. And that's just not a recipe for success in my mind. Certainly it's something that they have in their hat that they can, in their arsenal, to where that they can go to at any point and having an elite fourth quarter, but those fourth quarters haven't been there. You're looking at guys where offensively that flow is just janky. It's not as fluid as you'd like it to be. The ball handling, the ball movement is sticky, and that's to be expected a little bit when you have an ISO player like DeMar DeRozan, who's been, in my mind, sensational. I don't think it's as simple as saying this is a DeMar DeRozan fit with the Kings problem, because I think he does not take away the ability to shoot from the three. Right. So I think there are concerns for sure, but I think they have to find out truly who and what they want to be and what they are. Certainly these teams that have size on them, that's an advantage. And if you have to play small, play small. I thought there were some really interesting quotes that came out of the locker room the other night in the loss of the Thunder, which, by the way, it's a team that they just don't play for 48 minutes. And I think everyone can realize that, because I thought they played about as well as they have in stretches in that game, and then looked about as bad as they've been all season when the other team goes on a run. And that's been kind of a common theme as well. So get back to that identity, establish what that identity is. And the other thing I'll say about that too is, Domantas Sabonis, when asked about kind of the 3-point struggles, he says, well, maybe that's just not who we are, and we have to figure it out. And I think part of the things he was talking about and getting back to what was working in that first half was certainly that pick and roll, that 2-man game that he had with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, and look, that's who they have been. But at some point here, I was joking with Frankie Cardicelli about Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. You have a home run hitter that's not hitting home runs. At what point do you say, maybe he's not a home run hitter anymore, right? At what point do we say, maybe they can't shoot, or at least they can't shoot this season? Sean, 3 quick hitters for you. Speaking of home run hitters in baseball, how do you feel about Blake Snell? Do the Kings get a W tonight? And favorite Thanksgiving food?
Damn you, Allen Stiles. I think we are both Giants fans, and that hurt last night. I was very bothered by that. I didn't think Blake Snell was going to the Dodgers, but why not? Everyone else does. Defer that money. They print their own money. I mean, they just have a Federal Reserve in LA and Hollywood, and they can just pay whoever. And they don't. Those players are so rich, they don't even have to take all the money right up front. They can just defer it 30 years down the line. It's just an unfair system, and we just have to deal with it. So they could literally sign you and I as right-handed pitchers. Who cares about Walker Buehler? They're going to be just fine.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sick to death. I'm just sick to my stomach about that. I hope the Giants are able to do something, but I don't know what that is. As far as what you said, the favorite, what the Kings can do tonight. Yeah,
they're going to get the W.
They've played Minnesota really tough. I mean, you're talking about a differential of 6 points through 2 games. I know this. Julius Randle's going to go off. He always does. His top 3 games of the season are against the Kings. 2 of them, obviously, 2 of the 3 are against the Kings. Just as a King killer. And I actually thought they played Julius Randle, despite him scoring 26 points. I thought he played him pretty well in the last game. So take advantage of the fact that big team played last night, albeit on their home floor, and had a tough matchup. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a good contest, and you need it in the worst way. And beyond that, with Thanksgiving right around the corner, did you just say what the favorite dish was?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I hate to be boring, but I really love turkey. I'm a turkey guy.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Turkey and mac and cheese. How can you go wrong?
There you go. Well, enjoy it. Sean, thank you for coming on the show as always. Go check out Sean on social media. Go check out his work on Fox 40. It's great stuff. We use it all the time. Sean Cunningham, Fox 40 sports reporter. Enjoy the holiday, Sean. And hopefully you will be on the show again soon, but hopefully I see you sometime next week.
Sounds good, buddy. Anytime.
That was Sean Cunningham. Great stuff. As always, thank you, Sean, for joining. When we return, we continue the conversation. We get into our Kings Timberwolves preview, and we do a little bit of NFL as well. What's going on during Turkey Day and beyond? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Live ball, George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
Gas around here is too expensive.
Don't drive all over searching for the lowest prices. Just download the free Upside app and get cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas? I'm stopping now to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code RADIO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. That's promo code RADIO.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, it's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
Right now is the perfect time to replace your windows. It's Bell Brothers end-of-year warehouse sale. We're offering our lowest prices of the year on all windows and doors. Plus, instant rebate up to $2,000 when you purchase new windows. And zero payments, zero interest financing for 12 months. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com. These deals will not last long. If you've been putting off getting to replace your windows or installing new doors, now is the time to take action. It's Bell Brothers end-of-the-year warehouse clearance. Call now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com. In-home estimates are always free. If you're ready to replace your windows or install new doors, right now, Bell Brothers has the lowest prices of the year, plus an instant rebate of up to $2,000 when you purchase new windows or more, and zero payments, zero interest financing. Get all the details at thenosurpriseguys.com. Minimum purchase required. Financing based on approved credit. Cannot combine offers.
It's Black Friday! The Big O Black Friday sale is almost over. You can save on tires and drive safer this season. Sounds more like Black Friday. Hey, that's my job. It's just so fun. Right now, it's buy 3, get 1 free on hundreds of select tires, including our very own and rarely on sale Big O branded tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Offer valid now through December 8th. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary, not valid with other offers.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Great stuff from Sean Cunningham, as always. Just letting it ride. So Kyle, he sets up what songs are going to come up next. And Kyle came in singing this, so we were singing it during
kind of whistling the tune, you know?
Yeah.
I saw it. It's just such a good beat.
It really is. Is this Mustard?
I actually don't know who is on the beat for this one. I know it's Tyga, but I don't know who does the beats.
This is the last time we heard of Tyga. This might have been it.
I think so. I think he did a remake of All About You with YG and Blast, I want to say, but I haven't heard of Tyga doing much recently.
No, well, look, Rack City, you know, is a good run.
Just since we're talking about Tyga, have you ever heard of the parody, the remake that he did for Rack City with the Los Angeles Clippers?
No.
He does Rack City, but for Lob City, when it was Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. It's actually really good.
I remember
I'm gonna see if I
Tyga,
can find it.
He had a song during the lockdown, during the pandemic, and it was "I'm bored in the house and I'm bored," and he just said that over and over again. And I don't know. Personally, I was so down bad. I thought this actually is kind of hitting because I am in the house and I am very bored. So thank you, Tyga.
Love City, Love City, City, Love City.
Like 90% certain he doesn't curse.
Love City Clips, Love City Clips, CP332, Blake Griff, DeAndre Butler, and we got Billifson. LA, you don't know who you playing with. Got my other chick gang with
That's not bad.
Same course side, Jack Nicholson.
You better shut it down now, just in case.
Red Letterman, Love City killing it.
And you know, I mean, that's the whole thing. I've always, not that I wanted the Clippers to ever be good, but I did want the Clippers to be good just to see how many people would flip if they became some type of dynasty.
CP332, Blake Griff.
It's funny. There's like Vinny Del Negro shout outs in there. It's so random. It's so good. But also, I kind of have that answer for you because I grew up born and raised in San Diego, California, right? And so we don't really have a team there. So you gravitate towards whoever. And for people my age, which is, about born in 98, 99, 2000s, for most of our lives, the Clippers have been pretty good. I mean, Lob City was when we were kids.
Right.
And it's a pretty 50-50 split. Like, I know a lot of people growing up who were Clipper fans because we were in that unique space where the Lakers were just terrible. It was like the Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson Lakers. And Lob City was great. So, like, of my friend group, like, pretty 50-50 split between Clippers and Laker fans.
Yeah, it's interesting because all it takes is 5 years. 5 years doesn't feel like a lot, but a lot can change in 5 years and how teams are kind of viewed. And now you have you hope the Kings get to a place where most people will at least remember them for being respectable. And the older we get and the more Kings fans come into the world, they hopefully have better memories than a lot of Kings fans have had. Wanted to get to
Love City Clips.
Thank you, Tyga.
332, Blake Griff.
Thank you, Tyga. Wanted to get to this Jae Crowder because Sean alluded to it, and you had a good breakdown of it, Kyle, and Jae Crowder's wild NBA history. So here it is. He was an essential part of Isaiah Thomas's 2017 Celtics magical run. He was traded with IT to the Cavs in exchange for Kyrie Irving. After half a season, he gets shipped out at the 2018 trade deadline to Utah for Rodney Hood.
Remember that year when LeBron made that crazy run to the finals with the other Cavaliers, as Donald Glover said? I forgot Jae Crowder was on that Cavs team the first half of the season, and then he was sent out with all of those other players, and they got Clarkson and Rodney Hood and just some randos.
The Rodney Hood, I remember that. He gets traded from Utah to Memphis July of 2019 in the Mike Conley trade. After half a season in Memphis, gets traded in a salary dump to Miami with Andre Iguodala for Justice Winslow. Miami Heat go on that NBA Finals run in the bubble as a 5 seed. Jae Crowder's career revitalized. He signs with the Phoenix Suns after the 2020 Finals, starts on the Suns. That team wins the 2021 Western Conference Finals. 2022, the Suns have the number 1 seed. They flame out against Dallas in Game 7. That was when they got clowned for that. That's when they got blown out the building.
The famous meme of Chris Paul hits a 3-pointer to cut the deficit to 43. It's that game was the one, and DeAndre Ayton refusing to go back in the game and fighting with Monty Williams and all that stuff.
2023 sits out the first half of the season, refusing to play for Monty Williams until the Suns trade him. February 2023, traded to Nets in the Kevin Durant trade, rerouted to Milwaukee in exchange for TJ Warren and picks. The number 1 seed Bucks lose in the first round to the number 8 seed Miami Heat. He re-signs with the Bucks for the 2024 season. He goes unsigned after 2024. Bucks lose in the first round versus Indiana. He played 50 games with the Bucks, started about half of those games. So what a run for Jae Crowder. And now the next chapter in the Jae Crowder book, his time with Sacramento. If it doesn't technically or officially start tonight as far as on the court, he is now part of your Sacramento.
I'm sure you guys brought it up earlier in the show at some point, but if not, how crazy is it that through all of that, from Cleveland to Utah to Memphis to Miami to Phoenix to Milwaukee, everything, Jae Crowder's made the postseason every year since 2014. Every single year.
That's a good sign for the Kings.
Definitely is. 11 years in a row, Jae Crowder has been in the playoffs. It's been with 7 different teams, but he's been in the playoffs every year for 11 straight seasons.
The Sacramento Kings are saying, me next. Help us, get us back there, Jae Crowder. All right, well, the Kings have the Timberwolves up next. We have our Kings Timberwolves preview part 3 coming up next. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmitt Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and 1 blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, The Pen is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, DePen is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for DePen Shield Guards RealFit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at the AEWay.com for an instant quote. That's the AEWay.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ready to make this Christmas unforgettable? Shop early and save at Prestigio Jewelers' biggest Black November sale ever. For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Prestigio Jewelers, the perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. with locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers, too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine, November 16th through January 1st at the Westfield Galleria Mall in Roseville and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at givingmachine.greatersacramento-modesto.org.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Power Days now that Black Friday's here?
We're giving you a head start on the new year when you save up to $17,500 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting as low as $36,325.
Wow, already that kind of savings on next year's models?
Yep, there's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation.
Don't miss the savings on those new 2025 Rams right now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 after $12,000 factory rebates and $5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 SFS bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. $3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons. $500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and $2,000 in Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 10% savings. See dealer for details. 36,325 in 544-890.
Black Friday has officially landed at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento. The best deals of the year on power tools are happening now from November 25th through December 2nd. Get low-price Makita Bear tools starting at just $89. Makita batteries starting at only $49, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to grab the hottest power tool deals of the year. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit us in person at 6701 Power Inn Road or shop online anytime at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios,
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
One more hour with you, and then my holiday vacation starts. Hopefully yours isn't too far behind mine. Maybe you're already on it, and you're still locked in with us. Thank you. We're going to open up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Before we take this break, the Kings have 3 games. That's correct, Kyle. 3 games while we are on break. So anything you want to say about the Kings as they are on this 4-game skid before they go through? Let's see here. You got the Timberwolves tonight. You have the Blazers on Friday. And then you have the Spurs on Sunday, and that will be at home. So 3 games where you get this one. Look, and I know I haven't done it in a while because there was no need to do it, but you get this one tonight shorthanded, and then you go to Portland. Even if we know Trey Lyles won't play, but even if DeMar DeRozan can't play, you feel good about your chances against the Blazers without DeMar and Trey, and you probably feel kind of good against the Spurs, even though you lost to the Spurs. So could be worse. After that, the Rockets, who at this point, I'm pretty sure the NBA Cup is cooked. You can't go 0-2 in your group.
For the Kings, it's just about done.
Yeah.
Did the Rockets end up winning yesterday?
They did.
Okay, so yeah, it's cooked for the Kings. There's virtually no path. I mean, there's like a 6-way tiebreaker thing, but there is virtually no path to winning. Their only chance really was a weird everyone finishes 2-2 scenario in the group, but now that the Rockets are 3-0, it's just about cooked.
There you go. Well, the Rockets will get a chance to fully clinch their position. That will be on Tuesday, December 3rd. And then the Kings take a trip to Memphis. So, out of those games, after that, you get a break, if you will. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Spurs and Harrison Barnes, but you go to San Antonio and you host the Jazz. So, a couple opportunities to keep your head above water. The bottom line is I'm sitting here looking at some of these teams, and you're not playing you just got through the Thunder. You're not playing another top team in the West for the next 7 games. And then after that, you get the Lakers twice. So at some point here, you're going to have to string some wins together. And before we even went down this hole, we had discussed this being an opportunity for the Kings because you had the Nets, and yes, you have the Thunder, but you lost to the Hawks, and I know that was a tough one. Even before they started this 4-game losing streak, we felt like, hey, Thunder and Timberwolves in 2 games, not back-to-back, but in 2 games, get one of them. And look, doesn't matter what happened in the past. You didn't get the Thunder, so can you please just get the Timberwolves? Don't let them go 3-0 on you. I think that would be horrible if you then have to face them in a play-in or a playoff situation. Just get a W tonight. Then you can roll a little bit. You get the Blazers, you get the Spurs. And look, I don't know what happens against the Rockets, to be completely honest with you. The Rockets are playing pretty well. And if you don't have DeMar DeRozan for the Rockets, you couldn't beat the Rockets last season at all. Yeah. So I just think if you can get through this game, I think this will be a really good win for the Kings. And then you take care of business, which you cannot take for granted. They already lost to the Spurs this season, but you take care of business against the Blazers and the Spurs. Nice little 3-game winning streak to kind of just make you feel better.
A little bit. I mean,
we're at tiny victories here, one win at a time.
This is the tough part for me. I'm skipping town, so this is my one chance to see the beam. Tonight's my one chance to see the beam during this little 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
You brought up the good point about they play teams that are not considered powerhouses in the West, which is room to get back some games. 2 against the Spurs, the Blazers, the Jazz. They're going to add a couple games into the schedule next week because of the NBA Cup. They're going to reschedule 2 more games in there, so maybe if the Kings end up no better than 2-2 in the Cup, then maybe they get an easier draw in those 2 games. Yeah. But I think there is an opportunity here to win games, even though they're going to be shorthanded, right? Malik, as we know for now, is going to keep going, even though the ankle is hurt. DeRozan's sitting out with the back. Who knows what's going on with Sabonis? We know he tweaked his ankle. Obviously, no Trey Lyles. So they have a chance to still stay afloat, even though the injuries keep piling up.
Well, and you still have, and we're not even talking about it, and maybe we shouldn't at this point, but the De'Aaron Fox finger thing. So he's dealing with that. I guess there's no real point in talking about it until it comes up again. But these are nights where it's going to be a lot of De'Aaron again. And yeah, he put up 60 last time, but he did it in a loss. And De'Aaron even said, I would have taken, what was it, 45 or 50 and gotten the W and not gone to overtime. And I think De'Aaron really feels like that. He's gonna have to do something tonight. No DeMar DeRozan, and we'll talk about our dogs and dog segment as we get closer to the end of the show. But at some point, Keegan Murray or Kevin Huerter, you need a crazy game out of one of them. You do have Malik Monk back, so that helps. I'm looking at Keegan more so than Kevin Huerter now that we think Kevin Huerter is going to be on the bench. I don't. No, I have no clue.
I assume it's going to be Keon again in the starting lineup, and the only reason I assume that is Kevin went to the bench and put up 0 points on Monday, so I assume that doesn't lead to him being back in the starting lineup.
But that's what it was last season, where he does better in the starting lineup. I just don't think that's flying anymore because he got opportunities. He still got opportunities last season, got opportunities this season. So I think Mike Brown his patience has worn thin with that, for lack of a better term, excuse.
We need to make this a game, I'm realizing now, because we're coming to this preview again, just like we did on Monday, just like we did on Friday or Thursday. And it's like, what's the Mike Brown rotation going to look like? We're guessing who's going to be in the rotation. We think it's going to be Malik Monk off the bench. We think it's going to be Kevin Huerter. After that, Isaac Jones. Who knows?
Who knows?
He's got to play at least 8 people. But who knows who it's going to be?
The text line has gone completely left here as far as they're not feeling good about the Kings right now. The 916 says, I like the signing, but this smells like a panic move by a GM who didn't have his team balanced in any way. Love the Carter pick, but it's just uncomprehending that he didn't have some other 4s on the team. Yeah, and Devin Carter is not a 4, right? No. And maybe they're going back and forth. Yes, I think they're going back and forth with now having to get one Jae Crowder and deciding to get Devin Carter. I mean, I guess right now the only thing that kind of protects you is there are not a ton of 4s in the draft that are balling. Dalton Connect has been playing the 2 and the 3. He hasn't really been playing the 4. And you have, the Tristan De Silvas of the world. He's been playing well. There are a couple. There's no one as glaring that is a young Jae Crowder. Not yet, at least.
But a 3 they could have put at a 4. Yeah, there's a bunch of those, but there's no true 4. I honestly, to answer the chat's question, I think the Jae Crowder thing, sometimes we like to overthink it and think that there's like these deep maneuverings going on. This one just seems as simple as they got word Trey Lyles is going to be out 4 weeks. They couldn't survive without him because he's the backup 4 and the backup 5. So they went ahead and signed Jae Crowder. Yeah. Right? I feel like this is just a direct, you can draw a line in their thinking between we find out Trey Lyles is out for an extended period of time to signing Jae Crowder. Like, it seems like a pretty straight line to those 2 results.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you have to find guys that are playable. And maybe there are some conversations going on where it's, hey, Mike, what do you feel like you need? Because to me, I can't see Mike Brown looking at this roster. And I know we spent some time yesterday about the philosophy between Mike Brown and the philosophy of Monty McNair, because I don't really know how you're Mike Brown, knowing what Mike Brown wants in a team, knowing he's been a kind of defensive coordinator in the past, and he looked at that roster whenever it was in July or maybe it was August and said, we need Dougie McBuckets. I just don't see that happening. So I think that another part of this too, and again, this is not source, this is just my opinion. This was if you're choosing between these guys, you're at the clearance rack, no disrespect. You're at the clearance rack. Mike is saying, I think we should wear pants. And Monty McNair is saying, I think it's still shorts weather. And they got the shorts and it was cold outside.
I guess I understand the point you're saying, although at the same time, I feel like the Doug McDermott signing was a reaction to the original plan was the backup 3 was going to be Jaden McDaniels. And then they got to camp, and for whatever reason, they decided this. But
I don't know.
Ain't it.
There were people thinking that he was never there. I heard rumblings that they knew he was never going to play. I don't know. We don't know.
But then why would they sign McDermott 2 days after cutting McDaniels?
Like I said, I got a reward out. I can't say that. I'm just kidding. Yeah. If someone can find me film of Jalen McDaniels, I need it. Yeah. I need it. How bad must it have been, Kyle?
That's what's crazy, that they would attach a second-round pick to
Please
make it
go
happen.
away.
Yeah.
Please, I will pay. Just take him away.
The reason that was the case is because they didn't want to cut him for the cap purposes. And I will say, in their defense, McDaniels was due to make like $4 million, and they just signed 2 vet minimum guys.
What did he play? One game?
And Crowder.
One preseason game
yeah.
And just said, "Go, please go away."
Yeah, they decided he wasn't it, and now here we are with Doug McDermott and Jae Crowder.
I've never seen anything like it.
Especially when they gave up Davion Mitchell, Sasha Vezenkov, and a second-round pick, obviously salary dump, to make that trade happen.
Let's continue on with the Kings Timberwolves preview and previewing some of the other games that are on their way. And we have more text to read and more calls. Still got 45 minutes. What do you got to say about your Sacramento Kings? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
We are very, very familiar with the Timberwolves. Third time facing them. They are 11th in net rating. They are also 11th in three-point percentage for the opposition. So they do defend the three ball fairly well. They're not top 10, but they're much better than the Kings, who are, well, they are. The Kings are still sitting in second to last place because of the Atlanta Hawks, who are just completely terrible. The Timberwolves defensive rating 12. We know they were a top 3 defense last season, but they sit at 12 this season. And offensive rating, they also sit at 12. So that's kind of who they are. They're one of those teams where their record doesn't necessarily represent how good they've been playing. They haven't been able. It's just been clunky. It's been very similar to the Kings. Just been clunky. And I'd argue the Kings have been less clunky, but the Kings have dealt with more injuries than the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves do get Mike Conley back, so that is somebody that did not play the second game where the Kings played the Timberwolves, but he did play in that first game. Wanted to get to a lot of these texts here. The 916 says, you guys should have named today's show about the Kings reshuffling deck chairs on the Titanic. Come on, 916. These are not 20 games in yet.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's bad, but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad yet, 916. Come on.
The Titanic was like a 75% failure, and we're only at like 30%.
Right. We're not there yet. There's a 916 that really just wants to make a move. They say, I'd love to explore a trade involving Keegan, in all caps, by the way. I'm not going to read all the caps, but I'm not going to read it in all caps, but I'd love to explore a trade involving Keegan. I guess I just did.
You went against your own.
That's
rule
right.
There.
The 916, they go on to say Keegan for Kuzma. Then they say Keegan for Jeremy Grant. look, I'll put it to you like this, 916. I'm not saying it is or isn't going to happen, but you keep losing games and anything is possible. Not to go Kevin Garnett here, but anything is possible if you keep losing games.
There's no reason to sell low. That's the first thing I'll say. There's no reason to sell low. Keegan's going to be eligible for a rookie scale contract extension this offseason, unless you get a player you simply cannot refuse.
Yeah.
As in, like, Keegan is the first part of a bigger trade package. Then Keegan, by all accounts, is untouchable. And we know this is the case because they wouldn't even include him in Lowry Markkanen trade discussions.
And that's another good point because of the money. Keegan isn't worth a lot of money yet. So all of these names that the 916 is mentioning, you're still going to, and I know last season was a Toyota Corolla package, which with HB and Kevin Huerter, I think there might need to be a new nickname for Trey Lyles and Kevin Huerter because you can't do any of these deals. So now you're talking about Keegan, Kevin Huerter, and Trey Lyles, and probably more than that for Kuzma. That sounds crazy.
Well, if you want one of those $25 million a year forwards, which the Kings don't have to trade for one of those guys. I keep saying this to people. Like last year, the Mavericks built a finals run off of the sloppy seconds of the Hornets and the Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and get the Kuzma, the Jeremy Grant, the John Collins just to say that you made a trade, right? There are a bunch of $9 million options available as well that just might be as impactful if you make the right move and put him in a position to succeed.
Carmichael Dave is always working even when he's never working. And he was, he's a big Florida State guy. And there are some rumblings about Patrick Williams. And Carmichael Dave said, hey, at the right price, younger guy. I was big on Patrick Williams coming out of Florida State. They had that really good NCAA March Madness run. So yeah, I think that's a guy that you're talking about, Kyle, where it's not going to cost you 20 mil.
Yeah.
But it could be an opportunity for the Kings to get better and also get a little bit younger as well, and so basically I'm looking here for Patrick Williams and what his deal is. He signed right now. He's making 18 million.
18?
He just signed a 5-year, $90 million contract.
I mean, Kevin Huerter's making 18.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you're the Bull. I mean, your Bulls, you always need shooting.
Well, the Bulls also last year liked Kevin Huerter, reportedly. They were interested in building a Levine trade package around the Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Duarte deal. They do like Kevin Huerter. It's just,
And here's the kicker for Patrick Williams. If you're talking about, hey, 18 mil, you have him under control. He just signed, so you have him under control. He's got a player option. He's making 18 even. Doesn't go up, doesn't go down. He's got a player option he's got a player option after the 2027-2028 season. So you have him under control for this season and 3 more seasons, and hopefully he performs what you want him to perform. And he's only 23.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I mean, Huerter and I guess picks would be in there. Here's the easiest way I can phrase this. Here's the easiest way I can frame a Patrick Williams trade. What would you trade for Keegan Murray? Because Patrick Williams is a former number 4 pick in the draft who's he just passed his rookie scale extension. He's basically Keegan Murray in terms of value. I mean, they play different styles, obviously, but former top 5 pick, hasn't been like an all-star caliber player, but plays very good defense, just signed a rookie scale extension. Kevin Huerter in a first-round pick. I mean, if Kings fans are talking about trading Keegan Murray for Kuzma and whatever else, then you can get Patrick Williams for Huerter and a first-round pick.
You would think.
Huerter and 2 picks or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would think.
Something like that. And if you and I are so fortunate as to be doing radio in May, we're going to be having the same conversation of how much are you going to sign Keegan Murray to an extension for, right? And the numbers are going to be, we're going to go look at the Kuminga contracts, and we're going to go look at the Emmanuel Quickley contracts and players from his draft class, and we're going to try and figure out what Keegan's rookie scale extension is going to be. They just went through this with Patrick Williams in Chicago. Chicago's thinking of changing direction. Trading Patrick Williams for draft picks is a way to do that.
I do think that Keegan has more value than Patrick Williams.
I tend to agree with you, although I don't know if the league would say the same thing.
I think they would. I think they would. You see all those, and I know we can, poo-poo it all you want when the Kings don't pop up on it, but the 25 under 25 lists and all that, you don't hear about Patrick Williams as much as Keegan.
I'll say this, Keegan will get a larger contract extension than Patrick Williams.
Yes.
If that means that Keegan has more value than Patrick Williams, so be it. He's also signing his contract 2 years after Patrick Williams, so obviously the salaries do go up over time, but I think you're not going to be. They're just so similar, is what I'm saying. They're both former number 4 picks in the draft who play forward and haven't been like all-star caliber players up to this point in their career. There's so many similarities between their journeys to get to this point.
Well, and I think the other thing is there have been conversations about Patrick Williams being a bust, whether fair or not. There have not been conversations about Keegan Murray being a bust.
Definitely not. No. And Patrick Williams, I actually haven't seen what his numbers are this year, but
well, it ain't Keegan Murray. He didn't have a rookie year like Keegan Murray. I know he plays a different position, but I think Keegan's got a good bit more value than
it's been a tough year so far.
That's
Patrick
what I'm
Williams.
saying.
I'm looking at those numbers. It's been a tough year for Patrick Williams so far.
But I don't. What you said. I mean, Kevin and a first. I mean, I'm not necessarily against that. I mean, the Bulls got to say what's going to help me get out of bed.
What's funny? I've never seen this one before. He's shooting 40% from the 3-point line and 35% from 2-point.
I need video.
I
need video. How does that happen?
It's like I've seen players shoot better from 3 than 2 before, but not 5 percentage points different. And it's not like it's a by volume thing. He's shooting 4.1 shots a game from 2 and 4.7 shots a game from 3. It's not like he's not shooting 2s at all. He's shooting more 3s than 2s and shooting 3s at a higher percentage.
Sounds like Kevin Huerter in a second to me, paying $18 million for that.
Might have to be a lottery protected first.
Yeah, something along those lines. All right, we got plenty of your texts we want to get to. Also, a little bit of Prop Talk Dog segment. Maybe you can hit with us and enjoy some cheese for Thanksgiving. I know those turkeys are not cheap. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Get Black Friday savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, now through Monday, shop Folsom Lake Kia for massive Black Friday discounts. FolsomLakeKia.com.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more super. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at HagenOaks.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sepp Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sepp Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sepp's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
No.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more silverer. That means more for you. More apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at HagenOaks.com.
Get Black Friday savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Coach Christie here reminding you, if you're in the market for a new car, now through Monday, shop Folsom Lake Kia for massive Black Friday discounts. FolsomLakeKia.com.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE. It's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Thirty more minutes with you. Allen Stiles, Sacramento Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. I will be joined by Whitey Gleason in about 10, 15 minutes here. All the texts are coming in now. Let's see here. From the 510. Shout out to 510 from Trey. What's up, Stiles? I like the Jae Crowder signing, but this just seems like a temporary Band-Aid for a permanent problem. We need wing help, in all caps. What do you think about making a move for John Collins or DeAndre Hunter? Do you have any 3-and-D wings in mind we could realistically get? Yeah, I mean, John Collins, that's basically right up the alley of what Kyle's been to. Well, both Kyles, really. Kyle Draper loves
Kyle
the guy.
Draper, number one John Collins fan.
And we will give him his just due. He's been on that one. And John Collins, he's been cooking. You know, he's been cooking lately. Marketing's been in and out, kind of banged up. That team really has no direction. So guys like that, like John Collins, that's where Colin Sexton's been balling out. I mean, they don't really know what they're doing, so they're just all scoring and numbers look great.
They do stink, but they're not so bad that they still have NBA players on the team.
Yes.
And I know we're playing Portland on Friday, but Portland's the same way, where it's like we know that they're rebuilding, but they also still have Denny Advia, and they have DeAndre Ayton, and they have Robert Williams, and they have Jeremy Grant, and they have Matisse Thybulle. It's like, yes, they have a bunch of young players, but they can't get young players fast enough to fill all these roster spots.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that is DeAndre Hunter, from what I saw he came back and he played really well against the Kings, and he was dealing with injuries. So I really like him too. It's just a matter of, what do the Hawks want? We know dealing with Danny Ainge, what that could look like. What does he want? And John Collins is not cheap. He's making at least, what is it? I think it's closer to 30 than 20 mil. He's making a good chunk
John
of change.
Collins, I think, was 25 because I think he signed a 5-year 125 with the back with the Hawks a bunch of years ago. Yeah, 5 for 125, and he's got this year. Thank you, Whitey. Yes, this year, player option next year.
Well, I'm sure Whitey has it by heart because they talk about John Collins so much.
I think he just said it before I could even get it out. He was just like, 1 year, $26.8 million, player option next year for 27.2.
So that's a guy who a lot of people have talked about. I'm looking at DeAndre Hunter right now, 27 years old. He's making 21 mil. It will go to 23 mil next season, and then 24.9 mil after that, so 25 mil. Then he's an unrestricted free agent after the 2026-2027 season. It depends on what the Hawks want to do. I mean, the Hawks, they're another team with a weird amount of talent, and they have too many big men. I don't think DeAndre Hunter really fits in that category with we got Capella, we got Larry Nance. I think what's more realistic, unfortunately, for the Kings isn't a DeAndre Hunter, but it is a Larry Nance Jr. It is these kind of third tier-ish guys, unless if you're the Hawks, you're going to want something for DeAndre Hunter. He's in his prime. He's on a pretty good contract in 21 mil. I'm going to need something that makes me pick up the phone.
I don't think the Hawks would get rid of him, but I would love if they got Onyeka Okongwu in a trade. The Hawks are in an interesting place because their timeline is kind of uncertain right now. Like they have players who are in their in their mid-20s or rookies in second years. Like they don't have any of those like fourth or fifth year players. So it's weird. They have like players that you would consider being in their primes or the back end of their primes, and guys who are 19 and 20 years old. Dyson Daniels is 21, Jalen Johnson's 20, Reese Shea is 19. So yeah, it's just a weird setup that they have.
And ultimately, a lot of these teams, they either have no direction or they want you to help their direction. So I think that the Hawks want you to help figure out what direction they're going to go in. And the Jazz, they do have a direction. The Jazz, to me, they're the ones who ultimately they're going to want to go as young as, and I don't want to say young as possible because Markkanen is what? Is he 26, 27? So the Jazz, and that's why, Brennan Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli, if you miss it, you can go check it out at Sacktown on the Sacktown Sports app or rewind on the good old YouTube, because they said Markkanen, if the Kings don't make a move here, maybe that Markkanen conversation comes back up. I don't know if Keegan would be in that conversation again because he definitely was in the conversation last time. But, you're going to have some opportunities to make some things happen. Eli McFly wants to bring things to the bright side. On the bright side, the Kings are making their free throws. As long as the Kings get all the dumb L's out the way now, hopefully they're healthy and build better vibes for the playoff push. Still not worried. Light the beam. That is from Eli McFly. Well, I'm glad you're not worried, Eli, because I am. I'll be less worried if they get a W tonight. But look, to be completely honest with you, they could lose tonight. It wouldn't be great, but they could lose tonight and then go on and beat the Blazers and Spurs, and hopefully by that point be healthy. And I would have to sit there and say, okay, that's now, what would that be? They've played 18, so that would be, they'd pass the 20-game mark. They'd be at 21. At least I would say, okay, a little bit more than 21 or 20 games down. You're basically at 500. Get healthy and now turn it on, because that's all we really got. That's all we really got right now as far as the Kings are concerned. Wanted to get your dogs. We're only going to have time to do one dog for tonight. And look, you shouldn't need a dog against the Blazers and the Spurs. Just win the dang game. And we also have some prop talk if you want to win some cheese, hopefully, and add that to your Thanksgiving winnings, if you will. Kyle, I see you working, doing some tech stuff. So I will kick off prop talk. For prop talk, to be completely honest with you, I might look at some of the Timberwolves because Julius Randle tends to ball out against the Kings. He's set at 21.5. That looks mighty good to me, but I'm not going to take a Timberwolves player. Not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to go with something that I think needs to happen, and I think this is a pretty good number. Obviously, you need help from other people, but De'Aaron Fox right now is set at 5 assists. So to me, this is the long play. Obviously, De'Aaron Fox had 60 points last time they played the Timberwolves. I think there will be a lot of trapping that doesn't necessarily help the assist conversation, but they lost the game. And they lost the game because De'Aaron was the only one scoring. So I think that 5 assists, more than 5 assists, is going to be necessary for the Kings to get the W. Not sure who's going to score those baskets, but I'm taking De'Aaron Fox 5 assists. That feels good to me, and I think that he will be able to get it done. I'm just going to go ahead and say Kyle's, as he is working hard. I think I see him sweating behind the glass right now. Kyle is looking at the Keon Ellis 1.5 threes. Kyle, looks like you're back.
Yes, we were patching into Minnesota here. Yes. So Keon Ellis right now is sitting at 1.5 3-pointers tonight as his prop talk. I think I'm going to take over on that. Obviously, it's been hit or miss with the entire Kings shooting the ball, but during this losing skid, I think Keon Ellis has been the most consistent shooter, you would say, on the team. When they went 1 for 13 in the second half against the Thunder, he was the only one who hit a shot, and his second shot would have counted if not for being called off by, I think it was a Sabonis offensive foul. So Keon Ellis's shooting has been there. I think he will hit over on 1.5 3-pointers, and he might do it with ease tonight. If someone's going to be hitting those threes, right, I think it's going to be Keon Ellis.
And we're working together because obviously I got De'Aaron's assists set at 5, so hopefully some of those assists come from some Keon Ellis buckets. As far as dogs are concerned, look, it's all hands on deck. I don't even know how I can pick a dog tonight. I'm going to go with Domantas Sabonis because I just think that he's a guy who is going to put his foot down and try to do his best to make sure the Kings get off this slide that they've been on.
I believe. In terms of dog tonight, well, first of all, we have music for our dogs, don't we?
Sure, yes.
Who let the dogs out?
Okay, so the Kings officially signed Jae Crowder, but I don't feel like he's going to get significant run tonight.
Yeah.
So we need someone to play backup 4, backup 5.
Where are you going?
All I'm saying is Isaac Jones didn't play bad.
Isaac Jones is your dog.
I'm just saying he didn't play bad. He had a screen assist. He had an offensive rebound in his limited run. He gets 16 minutes tonight. I mean, Isaac Jones can do some work. I believe in the young man. There's no need to go trade for a John Collins or sign a Marcus Morris when the young man, Isaac Jones, is going to come through for us.
There you go. Isaac Jones is Kyle's dog. I have Sabonis. I'm going basic here because you got to get a W. That's all you need tonight. Amid Rock on the Sack Chat. His dog is Keon. Going to have a double-double with threes. And we will be back with Whitey Gleason for a little bit of crosstalk before we hand over the keys to the Drive Guys, like how I did that. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Kings Black Friday deals are here. Cheer on the Sacramento Kings with slam dunk deals this holiday season. Save up to 25% on Kings tickets. Take 20% off Kings gear in the team store. You can even elevate your game day with 20% off experiences on the Kings home court at Golden One Center. Don't miss out on scoring these deals for all the Kings fans on your list. These incredible deals are only here for a limited time. Check out all the offers for tickets, gear, experiences, and more at kings.com/Black Friday.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer retailer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com. With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Ram Power Days now that Black Friday is here?
We are finishing the year strong by stocking up on new heavy-duty Ram trucks with over 300 available. And with savings up to $17,000 off MSRP, your perfect Ram truck is waiting at Hoblet.
Well, that's some pretty big savings on those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Yep, and you won't find better deals on more Ram trucks than at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. There's a reason we continue to be one of the biggest Ram dealers in the country, with numerous customer service awards, including the very prestigious Walter P. Chrysler Award, which means we are in the top 1% of dealers in the nation. Once you buy from Hoblet, you won't buy anywhere else.
Don't miss the savings at Hoblet. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmans after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet select inventory coupons, 500 on-the-job upfit incentive with proof of business ownership, and 2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for eligible trade-ins. 5 of this net savings, see dealer for details. Sample VIN 238277.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Black Friday has officially landed at Fasteners Inc. Sacramento. The best deals of the year on power tools are happening now from November 25th through December 2nd. Get low-price Makita Bear tools starting at just $89, Makita batteries starting at only $49, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to grab the hottest power tool deals of the year. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit us in person at 6701 Power Inn Road or shop online anytime at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
$15 more minutes with you, Allen Stiles, Whitey Gleason. Whitey, this is going in a complete different direction, as I tend to do when I have you on the show, because you're such a wealth of sports knowledge that I don't want to just
We're not talking about Blake Snell, are we?
No,
Thank
even
goodness.
more random. So right now, I asked you, Whitey, remember when I asked you about 2 minutes ago, I said, hey, do you like college? And you said, college? And I said, college basketball. Because college basketball is on.
Yeah.
Gonzaga versus West Virginia in the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. I think I will be watching a good amount of college basketball this weekend. And seeing, I watched Kansas Duke last night. Kansas got the W. They remain undefeated, number one team in the country. But I am interested in your thoughts, Whitey. So I think most people know my story, how tried to play at Sonoma State, went to a junior college, and then ended up at Temple. That back in the day, that was how you had to do it, because you go from D2 to D1, you got to sit a year. That's all gone now with the transfer portal. So when I looked up to say, hey, Whitey, do you like college basketball? I see a guy that looks familiar, and I'm pretty good with faces. I say, is that my guy Khalif Battle from Temple? So listen to this, Whitey. So I just Googled this during the break. 2020, he's at Butler. Okay, and I know the pandemic, we get it. 2020, he's at Butler. He plays 3 years at Temple.
Mm-hmm.
Last season, he goes to Arkansas, and I believe they had an NCAA run. And then this season, he's at Gonzaga. And I'm starting to think, I mean, I know this is the wild, wild west.
Like free agency.
Where are you at with not necessarily, we don't have enough time for the NIL and all that, but I get why the NCAA, I know why it's necessary, but it does seem like there needs to be some parameters. I mean, this guy.
Why?
Remember that LeBron James commercial where he's walking out the tunnel and he keeps taking off his different jerseys? These guys can't even do those commercials. The tunnel's not long enough.
Why shouldn't they be able to do that?
I don't know.
It's not traditional. I know you want to think of this guy in that school and that guy in that school. Like when you went to school, it's changed now. And why not? Bless him. I know what you're saying, but
I'll give you a transfer for a red. I'll give you because you do, even back when I was playing, coach leaves, you can leave without sitting out. That was always a thing.
I want to see trades in college sports.
It's ridiculous. Give me, you get one if you had to red shirt, and you get one just by itself. That's it. Because this is crazy.
Why?
There's no camaraderie anymore.
Why should
I
there
know
be?
this is an old man take.
Money, 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 money.
I'm not saying no transfer portal. I'm saying this dude, he's played for 4 teams.
Allen Stiles hates the free market
economy. I
economy.
love the fact. I wish I could have went straight because, I was always a D1 talent.
You know what gets me sometimes is guys will be in the NBA and it'll be March Madness and you'll have 2 guys on a team and they'll have these huge bets, right, about whose school is going to win. And you look, it's like, dude, that's fine, but you were there 1 year.
Right.
And so was your buddy, and you probably never went to class, which is fine. But how do you have this loyalty to this school? You were barely there.
You were there for 9 months.
And that's the other thing, too, about how quarterbacks, historically, Ohio State quarterbacks haven't played well or whatever. But these guys are bouncing around so much. It's who is Jalen Hurts claiming? Is he an Alabama quarterback? Is he an Oklahoma quarterback? If he stinks, then he's Alabama. If he's good, then he's Oklahoma.
But I don't blame them if they can do it. They should.
No, I don't blame them either. But I wish I had some NIL money.
Alabama played against Oklahoma this weekend, and Jalen Hurts had a bet with himself where whoever lost, he'd have to wear that jersey.
Yeah. He's got the half jersey like Coe's back in the day. Half Oklahoma, half Bama. Whitey, and I asked Brendan Nunez and Frank Cardicelli the same thing. Are the Kings cooked?
They're not cooked, but they're being prepared to be placed in the oven.
Are they? My mom is brining the turkey now.
Yeah.
They're being brined.
And there's still time to put a stop to the whole process.
We're basting the Kings right now.
Yeah. It's, as I like to say, as I've said a number of times, it's early, but it gets late very early in the West. So they're falling behind. You look it up now. Wow, Houston's playing really well. Wow, San Antonio's ahead of us now. And there aren't a lot of reasons that you can watch the Kings play of late and go, well, that's something they can hang their hat on. That's a good sign, right?
Jae Crowder tonight. Well, we don't know if it's tonight, but soon. I'm ready.
That's interesting, too. How come it took so long to sign him? And I'm not suggesting there's anything untoward, but that announcement came yesterday that they were close, and it took almost a full day.
Yeah, maybe he thought the price was going to be something.
Yeah, maybe.
He's definitely not.
We'll get to Scoop from Drapes today.
Yeah, he definitely has been picky, right? He wanted out of Phoenix because he wanted more playing time. He got it on the Bucks, but the Bucks weren't very good. And then I would be surprised. I know Brendan said he was looking at a list of free agent forwards, and he was at the top of the free agent forward list, which might just say something about the crew, but they are free agents.
There's a reason why those guys are available.
Yes. So
bless them.
We'll see what he brings to the table. I'll take it, man. I can't keep watching this. And it's even thinner with DeMar DeRozan, that situation, and Trey Lyles. So I'll take whatever the Kings can get.
Well, me, Alan, we had the story yesterday. Jay shared it with me. And so we mentioned it on the air, of course. And I was excited because I thought, wow, they're doing something.
they're addressing a lack of size in the front court, and to a degree, they're addressing, the fact that they could use more shooting. So I thought that's a positive sign. But then the other news came out, the other shoe dropped, that Trey Lyles was out. So it became apparent that, well, they had to do something.
Yeah.
So I was less encouraged then. I just think that they need to upgrade this roster, or I think we're all kidding ourselves about this team having a chance to be really good this year.
Yeah. And, Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, Brendan was talking about, well, maybe it's this offseason that the Kings use their assets to go after the big fish. And I said, you do realize that we said this last season, right?
Yeah.
We said this last season. So we'll see what happens. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Jay Johnson coming up next. Whitey, real quick, I'm going to ask you a different version of a Thanksgiving question.
Okay.
What's something that's on your Thanksgiving table that wouldn't be considered typical? Is there anything?
Probably sushi.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
That's what I'm
talking about. We're at my mother-in-law's, so she's from Okinawa, so
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some delicious sushi.
That's what I'm talking about. Great stuff. Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Jay Johnson coming up next. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Allen Stiles.
Happy Thanksgiving, Allen.
Hey, I thank you, Whitey. Thank you to Christopher Lott, who filled in. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter, doing a great job. As always, thank you to all the callers,
Happy Thanksgiving,
texters,
Kyle.
sack chatters. Until Monday, secure the bag, light the turkey.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmitt Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play.